Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to EGX Season 5 of Overwatch 2. I'm your friendly neighborhood caster, HD Philly B, and alongside with me today is the one and only Lord Loki. Loki, how you doing today?
I am doing excellent. Could not be more excited to kick off this Overwatch season. We have 3 amazing games lined up for you tonight, but we're going to have to start with one, and it should be very, very interesting.
Yeah, we have Bowling Green University versus University of Texas Arlington. We're Arlington powerhouse team, Bowling Green, an up-and-coming kind of university program. So it should be a big battle here tonight.
Absolutely should be. UTA is one of the kind of standout programs in I want to say esports in general, honestly, not just necessarily even here in the EGF. They've done extremely well every time. Bowling Green, though, a little bit more of an unknown. We haven't quite seen them perform at that level just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely this is the first week of the EGF season. So a lot of the teams are going to be kind of hashing some things out, figuring out different strategies, new metas, things of that nature. So we should see a different mix of things coming in today.
With that game, though, we are going to start off on the map of Ilios is our control map. Maps today, standard format for most Overwatch at the moment. We're going to start off on Ilios, head into a hybrid, match that right into a flashpoint, escort, and a good push to finish us off. I would love to see a push in EGF. Going 5 maps here would be amazing.
Now, after waiting for that first matchup and not being able to cast, I'm ready to go the distance here, Loki. So I'm begging for it, please.
Absolutely. And I think if there's any 2 teams that can give it to us, UTSA Bowling Green, or as I was, UTA Bowling Green, seems like an amazing matchup for it. Bowling Green, they've got a new roster to me, at least this year. They're going to be looking at running. Gratzko on that tank, Night Levels, and Shady Snare on the DPS. And then for support, they've actually got 3 of them right now: Nightmare, Evan BP, and Zoloft. Not going to see Zoloft at the start here. She's taking a quick break. As for UTA, they've got a very, very long roster, so we're just going to look at the starters right there. We've got Torthor, Tags, Andrew, Jupiter, and Kay. We should be seeing another DPS come in later in this match, but as it is with Collegiate, they've got to take an exam. I mean, hey, you got to get those grades up if you're going to be good at Overwatch.
That is true. And so that's something that teams have to manage, right? Schedules and practice times, things of that nature. So, sometimes you have to just sub in people as they are available. All right, so the gates are open and we are underway here on Ruins of Ilios. We have a dive composition looking like coming out from Bowling Green and a nice semi-brawl poke with the Zarya. So she's been buffed in the last patch here. So let's see if they can use her great effect now.
Yeah, I really do like this. I think both teams have a pretty good idea here. I think the Zarya on this well is great. It allows you to control so much space, and if you can get up to that Mega, exactly like Andrew's trying to do right now, it should pull up huge dividends.
And a massive pick there by Tags as he goes for the headshot on Shady and opens up the battle indefinitely. And I think that Arlington will be able to take this point now.
Looks like
here we go.
Bowling Green still
go
trying
for
to
it. So the Doomfist, he's just jumping around here, trying to do everything that he can to maintain control, not give it over to Arlington, but it looks like at the last moment there, he was backed off by the Zarya. Zarya is now pushing forward now, only 45% charge. You'd like to see more on the Zarya there, so she's going to be looking to gain more of that charge, spread those bubbles out, and try to push forward to create more space for her team here.
Yeah, I think with UTA having first pick on this point, though, life just becomes so much harder for Bowling Green, especially on this Doomfist right now. Trying to find an entry into this big defensive area with a Zarya that can just bubble everything up. Hyper mobile team that really doesn't even have a backline to be dived on. I think Bowling Green's going to really struggle to find a good entry point into the Zarya squad, especially now that we're starting to see things like Blade come online for UTA.
All right, so the Doomfist comes diving in with the slam. He uses the power block early, though, and here comes the Dragon Blade, as you mentioned, looking for one pick, looking for something. The Lifeweaver is able to dive in it, and absolutely through that, the slam comes through from the Doomfist again, finding Kay in the back line, even though she's so shifty. That is one pick now for Bowling Green. Can they do anything off of it? Another pick here from Grant coming into tags. This has to be the flip for Bowling Green right here, right now.
I mean, this has been the story. If you can find the entry, you can probably find the fight with Bowling Green. They did manage to track down Kay, ever elusive on the Kiriko, not mattering this time, but a beat might swing it back UTA's way.
Wow, a great disengage coming back from Arlington. Can they find some picks off that? Kay, once again, getting caught out here. He needs to be able to stay alive to support his team.
Talk about an amazing disengage, and even better, they never gave up the point until they started reaching back off the point in order to finish the rest of the fight. At this point, we're seeing BGSU just trying to stall this out for as long as possible. I do think Shady Snare gave it just enough time that we should be able to see another full regroup here from Bowling Green. They shouldn't have to just rush back to this point. With 20 seconds left on the clock, no issues there. And with 3 ults on the table, 4 ults on the table, Bowling Green could very easily take this even more.
All right, the overclock coming out by tags. He's tagging 1, he's tagging 2. Can he find a 30 slides? Oh, he almost gets the Lifeweaver, and he does towards the end. This is going to be a hold for Arlington, and they're going to take map 1 on Ruins.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think the scoreboard says how far apart that was. UTA did an amazing job there, only giving up that 17%, and that's just because got a little bit too aggressive chasing down the remaining members of Bowling Green. As we go on to this next point, though, I really think that we might see Bowling Green have a little bit more standing here. As we saw, they really did like that Doomfist, they really did like that dive style. Arlington did not come out on that style. They really wanted a brawl on a map where, dive is really, really useful. And so being able to have a map really controlled by high grounds, where you're going to have at least somewhat of a backline to dive on, Bowling Green should be in a lot better standing here than they were on that first map.
I agree, but the curious thing for me, Loki, is that Nightmare's playing the Lifeweaver. That's not been kind of in the meta recently, so maybe they're trying to help Grant with the Doomfist, kind of support him. They can pull him back, give him extra health packs, that kind of thing. But I haven't really seen it work out to their favor just yet. Here comes Arlington diving in once again. Now they've switched to a dive comp with the Winston. They find the vulnerable target in the Ana in the backline. But Grant says, well, I'll just dive past you and find 2 for myself. Night Level finding 1 as well. This has to be now a point flip, or point capture rather, for Bowling Green.
I mean, Grant was astounding going after the backline when the backline had an immortality and a teleport. To see them go after a backline that strong when, there are 2 people who are going to sit there and take it, not all that surprising. And Arlington reacting on that same note, immediately grabbing a Lucio and a Kiriko to try to deal with that pressure.
Absolutely, and I think that was some great mechanical skill coming out from Grant. I know it was off camera, but just being able to find 2 by himself, basically, is just really well done by him. Once again, another pick coming out from Night Levels, and Andrew diving that Ana once again. It's just back and forth now in the kill feed. It's just 1 for 1 from each team here. Who will come out on top? Doomfist now in the camera feed. He's laying out the punches, does find a headshot there on the Kiriko. Now he's on his tank counterpart, and he's blocking in an Echo now. I've never seen that before. Usually she's in the sky. All right, Winston decides to retreat now from here. They're going to give up this point and regroup.
This looks like Grant versus everyone else right now, and that's why the Lifeweaver is here. Right there in order to help Grant out when they're in those overextended situations. This lets Grant dive so much deeper into the backline of Arlington with just no fear. They know they have an escape route anytime they need one.
Yeah, because normally with Doomfist, you have to wait for to have Meteor Strike, right, to be your big escape maneuver. So having that Lifeweaver is absolutely massive. So Andrew going incredibly low here as he managed to get, he stays alive. I think with the help of the Bionic Grenade, and he gets topped up. Thor finding 1 on the back end. That Ana going down once again. They got to find a way to protect her. I think that's one of the vulnerabilities there of the Lifeweaver, is that he can't really support his back line as well if he's focusing on the front line as much. So with that, Arlington flips the point.
Yeah, but I think this is a really good fight by Bowling Green here. They made Arlington spend a whole lot of resources and didn't put in any investment themselves. 4 ults on the table. Meanwhile, maybe support ults coming out here for Arlington, and Bowling Green needs 1.5 more fights to win this.
That EMP, massive, tagging 3 of the members of Arlington. Now they need to capitalize it. There goes one. Once again, Grant finding Andrew. Now he has to find some more, but no, they look to go to the point, say, hey, come at us, and we'll fight you there. The point is what matters. So now the Tracer battle here on the flank. Tags comes out on top, but the Doomfist he's going to go on for 3. He doesn't even care. He's slamming into 2. He finds the Kiriko, and Nightmare says, I want a little piece of this action. He tags 2 for himself, and I think Bowling Green will be able to hold on to this point.
Though needs to close out Andrew, though, and Andrew's making this very difficult, at least keeping this point alive. They might open it up for a retake, and during that time where Andrew kept putting it on, Nightmare did have to invest their ult as well. Still, though, no one's able to touch, so Andrew's efforts are in vain, and we get to see a map 3 here on Ilios. We were talking about wanting a game 5. We're already seeing a map 3. I mean, is this prophecy of things to come, maybe?
Oh, I would love to see it. And this is a great warm-up match for us, too. Like, we're getting our vocal cords ready, our verbiage online, calling out all these crazy fights going down between these 2 squads. So, and I'd love to see that we're going to Well, one of my favorite maps in the game. Obviously, that giant pit in the center, you can knock folks in, especially if we've been playing Doomfist on both sides now as Andrew has switched to the Doomfist. So if we're seeing people get punched in that hole, I'm here for it. So once again, we're looking at both sides. Nightmare staying on that Life Weaver, so we'll see if he's able to use that pedal to kind of go over the wall, headshots, pull Doomfist, maybe if he gets punched into the pit. So we'll see how they use into effect here.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at this on a traditional level, I think UTA has the better comp here, but Bowling Green just seems so tuned to, feeding Grant right now that it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Evan, UTA has, University of Texas Arlington has come in with the strategy. They just know who the vulnerable point is in this composition. They just take that piece down, and the house comes crumbling thereafter. So an easy flip for Arlington on Well here.
Yeah, this just sets up UTA once again. We've seen how they look in the driver's seat when they are able to decide the momentum. Last game, they weren't able to get that first push, and everything just kind of fell down from there. Here, as they're getting set up once again, they've already come out of spawn with that, no backline, hypermobile comp setup that BGSU has really struggled against. And so far, they're finding the same problem where Grant just can't get into someone, solid to get a pick off of.
Yeah, so, and with that, Nightmare has changed over to the Kiriko, so try to get a little bit more maneuverability, and Evan has swapped off the Lucio. Those, Ana was too static there in the backline, so let's see if these changes come to fruition here. But Grant is mowing people down with that gauntlet shotgun, and here we go. Those changes come to fruition for Bowling Green, and they're able to flip the point.
Yeah, and I love the setup here with the Sombra as well. I think Knight and Grant have such great coordination to get into that backline and find kills. Ooh, they also find a stagger onto Andrew. That's gonna be brutal. Watch as that clock just ticks on now. There's no way you're starting a fight without your tank in Overwatch 2. And so that's a solid another 10 seconds of point progress for basically free.
Yeah, absolutely. He got caught out there. The team crumbled around him as he was diving the backline, and then he was all his lonesome, and he had to try to find the edge to, send himself back to spawn, but they kept him alive as long as they possibly could. Here comes both sides now trying to contest this little choke point here. Meteor Strike coming in from Andrew. He slams down just to kind of create some space for himself. He finds his counterpart. He's very low. He does get him with the punch to the face, and he's able to send him back to spawn. Now he's looking for the rest of the dominoes to fall. He does find Nightmare with a nice headshot from those gauntlets. Oh, a quick copy here from Thor onto the Tracer. Doesn't get much out of it, though. He does try to tag him with the focusing beam and is able to get him just at the nick of time.
Yeah, I think both of these teams are doing a really good job here with their own style. UTA is employing a very, kind of standard way of playing, where BGSU has absolutely adapted to their own strengths as both support ults go off.
What? This is a 4 support ults. The Kitsune Rush is just mirroring each other, intertwining like a helix. Let's see who comes out on top. It looks like Arlington, Texas is just going for it, just slamming into people, bouncing people around. Pulse Bomb comes flying in, just nearly tags Jupiter, and he falls right after. Bowling Green takes the point.
Yeah, both teams now with an amazing kind of regroup there right at the end. And as tags goes down, I don't think anyone's going to be able to get a really strong touch here for Bowling Green. Love them there for that fight, just pulling back, making sure they still have control of the point before everyone crashes back in with all of the resources in the world.
All right, here's a good juggle now coming in from Arlington, Texas. The Jupiter comes in and tags, then everyone else is able to follow thereafter. Thor's in the sky looking for a pick. Somebody is low. A Nightmare is so low, he gets done. Then slammed come in from Andrew. He needs to find one more. He does. Arlington is about to flip this point in overtime as the wick is burning down. Only one member alive on the side of Bowling Green gets focus beamed, and the flip comes back. Wow, team kill for Arlington.
Team kill for Arlington, but once again, Bowling Green has managed to make Arlington spend a whole lot while keeping it cheap on their side. Bowling Green so far, masters of the economy. We need to get these people some stock options with how well they're trading it right now.
Absolutely. So on the side of Bowling Green, 2 ultimates, right? Pulse Bomb and Meteor Strike. They can whiff, sometimes Meteor Strike's not really used offensively, it's more defense, right? Pulse Bomb has a low chance of success depending on the player, so we'll see if they can use those to kind of break this open and recapture the point for themselves. They're looking for a target now, they're finding that Kiriko gets so low, and they are able to find her, but it's a trade on both sides, and it looks like Arlington's coming out on top. Still 2 members though for Bowling Green. They're trying to find him. Meteor Strike comes in, has to use it now, otherwise, you might not get another chance. He goes in for the punch now, but gets punched back himself. Power block used, looking, keeping, and doesn't be able to find anything. Punch comes through. Here comes another slap. All right, Isuzu, and he's able to recover and escape, but Andrew gets caught out on the other end. The beat has to come out in order to keep him alive. Here comes the copy now from Thor. He gets onto the Tracer. It's a huge opportunity here to get that Pulse Bomb up quickly and maybe find the pick off of it. He looks for the Sombra. He does have the Pulse Bomb. He launches it in, but that member already died. Oh, 2 Pulse Bombs coming out on the side of Arlington, and both getting stuck on the members of Bowling Green. They're falling now. Here comes the focusing beam. A huge carry from the back of Thor to keep this point in their favor. Only 1 member now from Bowling Green. They to mow them down, send them back to spawn, and Arlington, in a miracle play from Thor, keeps the point, and Arlington wins the round. Wow, absolutely massive play.
Neither team there ever looking like they were truly out of any given fight on any given map. We saw every single time it looked like, oh, they're going to lose this point, they're going to lose this, there's no reason for them to stay. Nope, just swinging on back in, pop the ults, keep it going before a massive switch in overtime for UTA to be able to hold that one down, and ended with a Doom 1v1 where no one was able to win, just setting up the teams for the next fight. And once I saw, Andrew committing in, they didn't get anything there. The rest of the team from Bowling Green had come back. It was like, oh, there's no way you can hold this point in a 1v5. But he manages to run away for just long enough to set up the rest of the team and allow the DPS to come in on an insane double pulse bomb for the win. I mean, that's just explosive when you think about it.
That's a great one there, Loki, with the pulse bombs and explosive. Yeah, I think that juggle right there at the end, coming in from Jupiter, just being able to tag the point and staying alive, was absolutely massive. And then that sound barrier that came in to keep Andrew, who got caught out in that 1v1, like you were saying. So a lot of great team coordination and skill coming out from Arlington, and Bowling Green stepping up to the plate and matching it. Like you were mentioning, a little bit of an unknown program right now. They're kind of coming up, finding some players, but I think they matched Arlington fairly well in control, which is basically just a brawl any way you look at it. So definitely a good job from both squads there. So I believe the next map we were going to is hybrid. Now, Loki, remind the folks at home, is it the loser of the previous round that picks the next map, or is it just always just selected here from teams?
Gonna be loser picking the next one, based on all of it. I'm pretty sure, like, basically every map good to go here. We're not too worried about individual stuff. So I would be surprised if we didn't see something like a Kings Row or a Hollywood, being honest with how Bowling Green is playing. I think that would feed into their style really, really well. That, mobile brawl really seems to be what they're kind of going for here. It's basically just, it's just brawl but fast when you get down to it. Because
so anything that might favor the Doomfist, right?
Yeah. I mean, that seems to be their game plan. TM. Where can we operate the Doomfist without anything else? And if you have to choose a map for that, I mean, that's Hollywood. 9 ways to Sunday. Take it to Hollywood.
I gotcha. So a lot of folks, they're saying it's horse meta, Arisa's everywhere, all that kind of thing. So what's the, why is she not being played, at least on that first map that we saw? We didn't even see her once.
I mean, a lot of times, Arisa's great. We love the horse, but a lot that we see on Ilios has those big, giant high grounds. That's really, really important to control. And horse, she takes the stairs. There's no fast lane for her to get to the high ground. So when you want to control that kind of stuff, that's when we like to see a lot more of that Doomfist. If we go to somewhere like Kings, where you can just run it straight down, that's a lot more time for the horse. And we are going to Kings. So if you wanted to see the
Yes.
horse, now is the time for the horse. I think the main reason we haven't seen a ton of that Orisa, though, just seems to be that Bowling Green's good at Doom. That's what they seem to have their stuff locked down on. That's what they seem to have it practiced on. And I've always said in Overwatch, the most important thing isn't playing what's meta, it's playing what you're good at. It doesn't matter what comp you're winning on so long as you're winning. If it's ugly and it works, it still works.
I was going to make that point myself, so I appreciate that you brought it up here. So Kings Row, one of my favorite maps. I know I have a lot of fans out there watching this stream, so they know how hype I get for Kings Row. So I'm very excited for it. Do we know who's going to be on attack first? Is it usually the loser team that starts, or is it the winning team that goes on attack?
Whichever team doesn't choose the map type is going to be the team that chooses what side of the map to be on. Generally, you want to be on the attacking side. It lets you know how far you have to defend for. And UTA is going to be choosing that attacking side. Attacking side, it comes with the benefits that are mostly just mental. You get to know, do I need to throw all of my resources into defending point A, or can I let it go a little bit? And it just makes it that much easier to know what you have to defend for, rather than just kind of like, who knows, TM, well, hopefully we can attack that far. It's just so much easier to have, that question answered.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've had some of the craziest, the wildest holds on Kings Row at that final point. So I'm very excited to see these two teams duke it out on that point 3. So hopefully we get there. So we'll be starting in just a few as the teams are readying up here in the lobby. So Loki, you're pretty familiar with this Arlington side. Like, you have some history there, right? You said you played against them before.
Yeah, but before that, I do want to correct myself. There is a set map pool. What you're looking at here is the map pool for the rest of the night. We're going to be seeing Kings Row, Coliseo, Circuit Real, and Busan. No Flashpoint? Question mark. Either way, we're just jumping right into it. But no, yeah, UTA is a very, very long-standing team. My own history with them, I used to coach the Texas A&M program. We played them many times. Sure. And it was never an easy game. I've got some beef locked in my soul from that one, so I'm never gonna bet against UTA coming into these games. So I think if you want to have a statement game for Bowling Green, this is the statement game. You put up a performance here, no one's taking you lightly for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Even if you take a map or two, right? Like, that's just something you can carry with you. And especially in the first game of the season, right? That's big momentum going into the locker room after this, right? You can give yourselves pats on the back. You can review the VODs and get better for it. So definitely some motivation here to kind of take down the Goliath, right? That is Arlington, Texas. So love to see it from both sides. So Bowling Green is going to start out on the Orisa. At least they're posturing that, right? Oh, no, they are on the point there. Okay, yeah. So that's a very static comp, as you were mentioning. The backline there of the BAP is always going to be comboing with the Orisa to kind of keep her alive as much as possible. So on the other side, Arlington going to come out with that Zarya. We know how well Andrew mowed down people on Ruin, so let's see if he can do that again here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very much hammer versus anvil situation. Both teams are trying to take the fight to each other. Pretty much exact same comp other than this Zarya versus the Orisa, and we've seen how good this Zarya can be.
All right, the speed boost from the Lucio coming in, the wall, trying to block off the Zarya. I think it's able to get Andrew. Is he going to be able to cut out? Yes, he does. A first successful defense from Bowling Green as the Zarya and team try to push through. Get thwarted, and a stagger. Oh my gosh, these ice walls coming out from night levels, blocking people off, singling them out, and their focus fire is immaculate now for the side of Bowling Green. Well done.
What a mean wall there by night levels, waiting until both bubbles came out for Andrew. There was no escape, completely cut off for everything before it goes off, and then also catching the stagger. That's just rude.
All right, one thing is interesting for me is the Reaper now. I like to see that they're trying to take these close quarter battles, and speaking of with Thor getting taken down quite early in that fight there, Arlington's going to have to back out and regroup. They can't take this fight without him. Oh, but as they try to disengage, they do find night levels in the background. The window comes down on the side of Bowling Green. That will create the much-needed space that they need to kind of get that breather, hold off Arlington for a few more precious seconds. seconds on the clock, but still missing a player. So that's bad. So they're looking to go in now as 5 as the respawn advantage is in their favor. The shield sphere comes out there. No, and they try to take advantage of it. That Zarya is massively charged. They try to find the pick onto the Mei, but they cannot. So here comes the Terror Surge trying to mow some people down, but the sound barrier just in time from Jupiter keeps most of the team alive. Oh, but it's just not enough. The healing from the Baptiste is gone with that Terror Surge, and so everyone then falls after. Can Bowling Green get the cleanup now and send everybody back? Yes, they can.
The ult usage for Bowling Green right now is just so locked down. They're doing their timing perfectly. They're rotating it perfectly, making sure they always have the right ults up at the right time, and then they're countering perfectly. They see window go up, done, Terror Surge. They see DPS go up, done, support ready, here to go. It's been good enough that Andrew now is forced to switch off onto Reinhardt.
Okay, so we'll see what he does here to try to protect his team against the onslaught brought in by Bowling Green. Here comes the Reaper with the huge ult, able to tag a couple of people on the side of Arlington, and I think Tags just tosses in the Blizzard just because. Let's see if he can get anything out of it. Tries to focus down one tank. I don't know if he'll be able to get it done with the rest of his team back in the spawn area. Yeah, it doesn't look like it, and Bowling Green, once again, a stalwart hold here on King's Row.
Ambitious ult there by Tags. I really think Bowling Green has them locked down on just the ult rotation side. They just have the better usage right now. We saw both Death Blossom and Blizzard ready to go for Arlington, but they didn't use them together. They just threw the Reaper ult out there without waiting for the setup, and as a result here, there's just complete comp swaps. They're on the Pharah Desperation comp for King's Row.
Yeah, it was a wholesale change from the side of Arlington, trying to find something that's going to work against this stalwart Arisa comp. But it looks like the first pick going against Night Levels as Andrew's taken down, and Night Levels finding a 2K. Can he find another? No, he's not able to just yet. Nope, there it is. Mark my words, he got his third, and everyone is sent back to spawn. 30 seconds on the clock now here for Arlington. They'll have one solid push left in order to try to cap this point.
Yeah, Arlington just looks lost here. I'm amazed we haven't seen the Orisa. I mean, that's... In this meta, you gotta have the Orisa to come out. Like, Zarya is great. If you're, leaning towards Zarya, let me see it. But if it's not working, you gotta find your way back to meta on these meta-heavy maps.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see what they can do here. They're still in the pharmacy to try to find some distraction to get the Doomfist in position. A defensive Blizzard coming out now from Night Levels to keep everybody off the point, and then the sound barrier in from Evan just to keep everybody topped up. They said, we're going to win this fight. We're winning it now. Let's do it. So here's the Terror Surge coming in for Tex. He slides out just in the nick of time, but he gets focused fired by the rest of the team. He said, they're not getting it from us. All right, the pharmacy now is the last one alive. They're being pretty shifty out here, and the 2K now from Thor, is that enough to switch the point? Shady trying to do his best with those Hellfire shotguns, but he can't shoot that far in the sky. A Wrecking Ball, the Desperation tank coming through, and a quick res by Jupiter, able to get Tags back in this fight. Is it a switch now in terms of numbers in the side of Arlington?
C9! Oh no! Thor was doing such a good job staying at the perfect height to keep it going for so long. Wow. Staying just inside the skybox of the point to make sure it kept ticking. And then right at the end, they fly a little bit too high, and Andrew strays a little bit too far. And the fight that was going their way is just shut down. What a brutal ending for UTA. They brought out the desperation comp. They brought everything out at the end, and it was working right in the last moment where it possibly could. And when they had it all in their hands, like water, it ran through them. UTA here. Oh, that's brutal if you're a Texas fan.
Oh my gosh, look, I wish you could see my face. My head is in my hands. I'm like, I was kind of forward to the back. I was getting my lines ready for the next, the next point on the street phase, but no. Once again, Bowling Green, a good defense. They were able to hold out just long enough, create enough space. The big Grant is huge on this tank, creating so much space for his team, and it was just enough to get everybody off the point in time for that overtime wick to go all the way down. But now let's see what they do on the attack.
Yeah, this point so incredibly important. We have to see not quite a full hold. Got a little bit more than that, about a tick and a half here for UTA to defend. But now we see the Orisa come out for UTA. Where was this before?
Yeah, that's a lot of questions that they're going to be asking, especially if they lose this map. They're going to be kind of kicking themselves if they didn't bring this out sooner. Shady was trying to get a couple of picks on that that Widow, but to no avail, so they switched off of it. Now back on that tried and true Reaper. The Bastion now is coming out from tags. It's a lot of DPS that's going to be coming through. Look how much they're focusing in there. They know that he's the linchpin in this composition, so they're trying to take him down so he can't go on the offensive here.
Yeah, I mean, I love this comp. This is exactly what we want to see. Bastion puts out a ton of damage in 8-second increments, but the rest of the team is built around keeping UTA alive during the times when the Bastion's not up. The rest of the time, Bastion can just throw in all of the damage you could ever need, as you see right there. And so they don't really need to worry about, oh, how can we heal? How can we move? No. Don't worry about it. You got a turret. Let's throw in all the bullets you could ever want. The important part is keeping everyone alive during the mid parts when Bastion isn't throwing out all of the damage you could ever hope for.
Mm-hmm. And now something I'm interested to see, now do they stay on the Orisa? Do they switch to Sigma? So if you're watching the Overwatch League, a lot of those folks in the end kind of switched over to the Sigma composition to kind of counter what the Bastion was throwing out. Here he comes in turret form, just mowing everybody down. They're being corralled into this little hotel room building. They do the ring around the Rosie. Now they're opposite sides here, but the window comes down first from Arlington, and that's enough to send everybody on the side of Bowling Green back to the spawn room.
Yeah, I love that Terra Surge. Get everyone into an open space with no clean exit. Throw the Terra Surge, pull them all right back in. There's a, giant cluster at the door. No one can find their way through. They're all trying to rush the gates, get the concert tickets. And no one manages to find the opening. And as a result, Andrew just able to slap them all down with an amazing Orisa ult.
All right, a slew of ultimates on the side of Arlington this time. Here comes the Terror Surge from Grant, trying to find some purchase, but he only gets the Immortality Field. The Sound Berry from Evan is trying to keep everybody alive, but here comes the Dragon Blade, and it's trying to look for more, but a Night Level says no. Here's the Overclock to the face, and shuts that ultimate down. Can Bowling Green find some purchase on this point? Looking at the supports now, and here comes Nightshade here on the Reaper. He's looking for something. He goes back in. He's trying to find Orisa, who's super low, but the Artillery Strike from the Bastion tags, trying to tag somebody, but not able to get anybody, and is a point capture from Bowling Green. Nice win.
I just don't think UTA was ready for that Bowling Green push with how fast and aggressive as it was. You saw as Bowling Green swept around on that point, UTA just was on their back foot. They were ready for the point flop, for switching defense and attack. They wanted to flip it. That's what UTA was prepared for, and Bowling Green was just like, oh, cool. If you're going to give us space to run to the point, I'm going to take it. Easiest path to victory every time. That's what Bowling Green's looking at here. And sure enough, they just ran straight there. No worries, no contest. And then UTA had to retake that space, but they didn't have a ton of resources on their side. Weren't able to get the Bastion set up. Weren't able to get the, support ult set up. But with that, we're going to give the teams a moment to recollect themselves, get ready for this next one. We're also going to take that short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
Welcome back, everybody, to EGF Season 5 of Overwatch 2. I'm HD Philly B with Loki here. We are knotted up 1-1 with Bowling Green University versus University of Texas Arlington. Our next map here is going to be the Flashpoint game mode on Servasa. So always it's an interesting mode here. Sometimes one fight can really dictate how the whole map goes. We've been saying at the top of the broadcast, we want to see this go all the way to map 5. So maybe we'll get all 5 Flashpoints here on Servasa.
Yeah, I would be hyped for it. You know, Servasa is consistently one of those maps that's a lot tighter. It's the it devolves into a lot more of those really, really tight brawly fights. I think that's part of the reason why Arissa has been so incredibly popular for so much of the time, is because you've got to play stuff like Servasa, like these Flashpoint maps, where it's a tight point, everyone's standing on it. There's usually not a ton of high ground. There's a little bit more in Junktown, but Servasa, it's pretty much just the box that you're gonna shove everyone in and see who comes out.
Yeah, definitely very interesting. I'm curious to see if the teams will run the Doomfist again, right? That like they did on Control. I know, like you were just mentioning there, since there's a lot of like low ground linear areas, the Orisa can kind of just push through, make a lot of space there. But because there are those tight corridors, a lot of these barriers, these walls, fountains, all that kind of stuff, the Doomfist might have some effect here, just punching people, stunning them up, and taking them down. So definitely curious to see what they do here. It looked like Bowling Green, that Grant, really a huge standout for me, creating so much space, leading his team on every fight, getting so much support from his backline, really doing a lot of work. So I'm looking to see what he chooses and how he wants to take this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Doomfist, but at the same time, like we talked about in the first one, if it's working, go with what works. And the Orisa's working right now for Bowling Green. Like, keep it going, pump it into my veins. I want the Orisa, and it's absolutely insane to see right now. It's pretty to watch. They've seemed to got it locked down on the brawl, and especially if you can put, your DPS on May, who's been performing insane the entire time. Like, trust in Night Levels. Night Levels hasn't steered you wrong yet. This time they're steering you onto the Sombra, though. The Doomfist right back out here, and we're seeing two very different approaches to this new Flashpoint map type. University of Arlington, Texas Arlington, adopting that brawl again. They liked the Bastion before. They're staying with the Bastion. It worked great for them. BGSU, meanwhile, opting to not take a Lucio with them onto Flashpoint, opting instead for this Doomfist, hyper Doomfist focus. Come in, we already have a pause.
Well, like you were mentioning, not bringing a Lucio on here, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. So let's see how it works out for him, especially because when Evan was playing that Ana, he was exposed a number of times. First pick, pretty much in every fight on Ilios. So it looks like we have a little bit of a lobby error, so we're just going to kind of restart, get everybody back in, make sure everybody's ping and latency is good. But with that, like we were mentioning, if those were the comps that we're seeing, I'm heavily favoring Arlington right now.
I don't know how you play Flashpoint without a Lucio, is really what it comes down to. Like, usually you get a fight if you're quick about it on this Flashpoint to try to retake it. Not playing a Lucio, you might get half a fight. I mean, you're really not going to be able to set up there. It's going to be like 80 before you get back for that second fight, which at that point, it's really, really easy to just take an aggressive hold off point, try to stuff you before you can get back. And if you're having to use your Doomfist utility to even try and get back, you might not have a good way to slip around, the back door and get to point. You're playing the Sombra, you're playing the Tracer, and that's great and all, but how much can you really trust those two people to try to contest the point while it's ticking up before you've just lost it? I mean, they're great at getting to the point. They're great at causing the overtime. We don't usually see a Sombra hold the point for 20 seconds while everyone else gets together. That's usually a touch, and someone else comes back and takes it. And if your Tracer is busy holding the point down, they're not busy attacking the back line, which, with the comp that we saw UTA put out, is an extremely vulnerable back line. We need to see the DPS, the tanks here, attacking the Arlington backline, and that's not something that can happen if Arlington wins the first fight, and you've got to spend your DPS holding the point.
Yeah, that you're exactly right. Like, who on Bowling Green is going to stay on the point, right? Your Doomfist is jumping around, Tracer zipping, Sombras teleporting, things like that. Who's going to stand on the point? Ana. She's going to get dove immediately and taken down. So yeah, definitely a very interesting choice here. And they bring out the Life Weaver once again. So we go right to the first point in this palace area. So we'll see how these teams decide to engage each other now as we take it in. Here comes the Reinhardt, the golden axe, looking to swing down and hack down the members of the opposing side. He shields now for the Bastion as he's looking to laser down some folks with that turret form. And does he get walled off? No, that's his own team there, just kind of helping him out, keeping that shield health alive. All right. Oh, and he finds the Tracer right to the face with the fire strike and sends one in right after. He goes in for the charge, but he gets punched, which is just enough stun to take the Doomfist down and send it back to spawn. Oh, but Buckle that's a sub in here for Arlington on the Bastion there now. So here comes Tags. He's looking to tag some people with those icicles. Can he find somebody? Looks like Bowling Green was able to rotate to the point and start accruing some capture percentage. What is this?
Yeah, I mean, they got a really, really good position to take this fight. They decided where the fight happened, and that meant their backline could worry about taking the point there, which is what we want to see. We want to see the Ana being the one to worry about the point, but UTA eventually taking it back. I think what we're going to see a lot during these games are whoever gets the first kill is it going to be the one who wins the fight, because whoever gets that first kill is the one who gets to decide the pacing for the rest of these engagements.
Absolutely, and an absolutely quick window coming out there from K. That was like 30 seconds it felt like, and he had that already online, and that was able to help them to secure that point. But the fight is not over yet. People are going to be brawling and tagging each other left and right here as they're trying to contest this point. Looks like Arlington now is surpassing in the percentage, and Andrew going very, very low. Can he find some support with Andrew? No. And here comes the reinforcements of Bowling Green to take down the rest of Arlington, send them back to the spawn room doors, and they recapture the point. Well done.
My favorite time of the day. It's my time where I get to shout out the supports for being so incredibly insane. K getting to their ult really, really quick, trying to set up, a strong position on the point where they can get rid of Bowling Green. But then Nightmare, they show up huge with the Life Weaver ult on point. This lets their entire backline stay there. Tags utterly obliterated because there's just no way to break through the insane healing from that tree.
All right, the Nano Doofus comes flying in, but he gets charged down, stunned down, and mowed down. See you later, Grant. Nothing you could do there. It looks like Arlington's going to be able to cap this one easily. Fairly inexpensive as well. I think just the shatter used by Andrew to keep everybody in place and locked down. We have a skyward view now, looking how Bowling Green wants to engage this. It looks like they're almost in one fight territory here. They need to take this. They need to take it now. They have the meteor strike coming in. Let's see if Grant uses it to disengage or engage. Right, and let's see, combo it with the EMP. Knight is looking for it. He's trying to find a target. Who is he? He's stalking. He's lurking. He finds the Lucio. He tries to tag him down. Can he get the support he needs? He does. But here goes. It goes in. The meteor strike to the combo of the EMP, but doesn't get anybody. And Jupiter stays alive. He's able to put down the sound barrier and keep the rest of his team fully topped up. But the switch is coming through. The point is the capture percentage is coming up for Bowling Green, but they get bullied off the point now. Shady goes in with a desperation. Reaper ult and tags 2, tags 3, but gets mowed down by the strike of Andrew, who gets 2 on the back end for himself. Now it's just him versus Night Lives, both very, very low, and it looks like he's able to bully him off the point just enough to cap that first one here on Servasa.
I mean, that's exactly what we're worried about coming into this one. BGSU not able to get back to the point until there was 80, not able to set up the fight until it was almost at 95, and almost got saved by, the Sombra coming in. Huge ult there, great ult. Jupiter, though, managing, once again, shout out to the supports. Jupiter managing to keep it alive just long enough that Andrew able to just bully everyone off. No point presence for BGSU, and now they're playing from behind.
All right, the dive coming in here from Bowling Green, trying to find a pick. They do find K, and now buckles and goes back to spawn. Shady saying, I need some of this action, and he's able to find the tag himself. And a quick flip, or quick capture rather, from Bowling Green. They executed that dive to perfection. Even though Arlington was in position first with the Lucio, the dive just came in too quick.
Yeah, Bowling Green doing a great job. They're cleaving through, but the thing we need to be looking at for them is they don't need to just win individual fights. They have to plan this out perfectly with the comp they're putting out there. And unironically, I think they did too good of a job. They killed everyone at once, cleaved through them with so much speed that Arlington's back now, and we haven't even seen 40% on this clock. depending on how they pace this, they're going to have so much time to run their own game.
All right, the dive coming through from Grant once again. He puts in the power block, and here comes the punch. He uses the meteor strike to try to escape, but he comes slamming right back down, trying to find a target. He does find Buckle in the backline, who switched over to Cassidy, but Andrew says, oh, Evan, I know you're vulnerable. Here, I'm coming for you, and sends that fire strike through and takes him down. All right, it's 4-4 now here on the point. Grant taking so much attention, almost gets K off the map, and there's that Life Weaver coming into action, life gripping him back into position, and he's able to find another one off of it. Shady finding another Reaper ult to take somebody down, and Bowling Green holds this point. They're definitely going to capture it and take this next one on Flash.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of an overcorrection forced out of Arlington by Grant. Absolutely insane on this Doomfist. Because of how good they're being, they're just pulling all of the attention their way. This is allowing people like Shady Snare, like Night Levels, to carve into the backline with no fear. It doesn't matter that Bowling Green has lost Evan. That's most of their healing. Doesn't matter. All of the focus is going on Grant. They only need Nightmare to help them out. One support's enough because they're just pulling so much attention that Shady Snare and Night Levels don't even need the healing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And Shady Snare switching over to the Reaper, I think, was an absolutely massive switch, right, from the Tracer at the beginning. Tags trying to find something that's going to work for him. He switches over to the Tracer, the Sombra himself, and does have the EMP. He's going to be looking for it. Or sorry, Night Levels has the EMP. My bad on here as we're switching through the different characters. So she's looking for someone, and here comes the Sound Barrier. Does she go for the EMP? Wait for it to come out. The Tree of Life from the Life Weaver as well to try to keep everybody topped up on Bowling Green. But in the meantime, Arlington is able to cap the point. 20% on the clock. The MP comes through, tags 3. Are they able to find anything on the back of it? Yes. 2 go down on the side of Arlington, and the Arisa comes in with the Terror Surge to try to keep everybody in place and swing the fight in Arlington's favor, but doesn't look like it gets anybody. Grant does fall in that, but Shady Snare does find a nice punch to the face on tags and trying to take this point now. He's being a stalwart here like we wanted him to, and they do find the Arisa and Andrew, and it looks like the split will come through.
Gotta look at that percentage, though. 60%. Brutal. And it seems like with that switch on Sombra, with that switch onto the Cassidy, Bowling Green's having a hard enough time on the Doomfist that they're on their own Arisa, but they're still on the Doomfist-oriented comp here. They've had to switch to the Arisa in order to deal with the changes from Arlington, but the rest of the team still isn't caught up. Arisa isn't going to have the healing that we want to see out of a Baptiste, out of the Alari, and so we're going to be seeing Grant here trying to, put a square peg in a round hole.
And the massive EMP coming through for tags this time, able to tag 3 members on the opposite side, and Bowling Green in the Deadeye trying to find something, gets speared out of it, and he tries to roll back to safety into the lamp. He does find Shady in that parting shot as he makes that roll. The window comes down now to create some more space. They're looking for it, but the Tree of Life says, here's our re-engage tool, and we're coming in at you. The Arisa leading the way in Grant once again, willing his team onward. They're focusing that Baptiste down. The Terror Surge on Andrew trying to the tides. Oh no, that was Grant, rather, my bad. And here goes a spear right to the face in that noggin. But the Risa 101, does he have the support? The Bio Grenade does come through, makes him purple. He gets no healing on the back end, but Grant is so low, only 2 HP. With his parting shot, he doesn't find anybody. But once again, Shady Snare doing the cleanup duty with the Janitor of the Reaper and secures this point once again for Bowling Green. A massive fight.
I keep talking about reasons why Bowling Green shouldn't win this next one. I keep talking about reasons like, oh, this isn't the right comp. They don't have the right setup. Their, composition still oriented for the last way they were playing. And I just keep being proven wrong. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're trying to put a square peg through a round hole. If you're strong enough that you can just force the square peg in. Just hit it hard enough and it doesn't matter what shape you're trying to aim for. You can just force it on through.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Tags playing, roulette out here, trying to find a DPS that's going to work, that's going to break down this Bowling Green defense. I like everything that they're seeing. Night Levels here with the big EMP. He's going to be looking for it. A nice rotation here coming out from Arlington. They do find Nightmare in the back and the huge amount of healing, and then Evan falls short after. Grant does find one. Nice little recoup there, but I don't think it will be enough to cap this first point here on the fountain area. So it looks like Arlington will be able to accrue some percentage as Bowling Green needs to recontest.
Yeah, quick fight here from from Arlington, able to set themselves up on the point. I really like this switch of tags onto the Symmetra. This means that they can really attack that backline Bowling Green without too much fear. They can just throw the teleporter right onto the Ana, right onto the Wife Lever, and just crash in. And without those supports, Bowling Green doesn't have any legs to stand on right now. This game has been running through their supports for so long, and as the EMP catches 5, good lord!
Let's see what they can capitalize off at the Deadeye, trying to create some space though, and it does catch Evan. Once again, he's the first to fall in this fight, but it doesn't matter. Here comes Bowling Green now. They're bowling their way through, trying to find everybody on the side of Arlington. See ya later. We are capping this point. Percent is coming up for us.
Yeah, Bowling Green also staged that fight in an amazing way, making sure you take it off of the point with so much speed and aggression that Arlington was never able to try and set up one of those long, drawn out stability points. They can just keep ticking up time. Nope. Bowling Green said, we're not going to deal with that. We've seen slow fights, and we think everyone who does them are cowards. We're just going to send it right on through.
All right, a number of defensive tools here for the side of Bowling Green and Ultimate's Terror Surge. Here comes the Tree of Life once again coming through in the Terror Surge. In this area, they can't escape. They get all tagged by it, and a couple of members fall from Arlington. There's no escape. The tree is separating them. That's a massive use of that tree. A nightmare. I am so sorry for doubting you earlier. You are doing an amazing job on this Life Weather. Like playing the map terrain to your advantage. That was a huge fight for the side of Bowling Green. Wow.
I mean, the name of the game for Bowling Green has been ult usage, ult usage, ult usage. And Tree, time and time again, has won it the fight, but this time it's going to win the map. Bowling Green taking a map advantage now off of UTA on the Flashpoint. Who cares that it's new? Who cares that we're not really quite sure how to play it yet? Bowling Green says, again, doesn't matter if it doesn't fit, just hit it hard enough. And sends it right on through to map 4.
Wow, incredible. I mean, that last fight where the Tree of Life blocked the doorway, separated the back line from the front line, the Terror Surge is bringing everybody together, slamming them down. I mean, that even breaks through that doorway too, right? So it's that area of effect. So massive damage coming out on the entire team. That fight was so easily won, well coordinated. I wonder if they definitely had that planned. They definitely knew with the ultimates they had in the bank what they were going to do. They got baited, or Arlington got baited hard into that area and taken down quite easily.
I mean, that's just... Nightmare's a game changer, is really what it comes down to. They're the person that's enabling Bowling Green to go on all of these insane plays. We've seen the Doomfist, we've seen the work that Grant can do on that Doomfist, but at the end of the day, it's all enabled by having such a good Life Weaver in your backline that's just able to pull out continuous plays to set up their tank. The Grant Nightmare connection is real. That is a duo that is absolutely wrecking UTA right now. And while UTA is good across the field, they don't have an answer to that duo. That seems to be the game changer.
Yeah, so what do you think the answer is, dude? Because you saw tags. He was trying to change to every DPS in the book. Eventually settled on Symmetra, which was getting some purchase, but maybe it was a little too late for the switch, or I don't know. But we'll see what they're going to talk about it now as they go to the next map, which I believe is going to be push, correct?
Should be escort. We're going to see
escort.
We're going to see Circuit Royale, which should be interesting. That's a map type that incentivizes a style of play that neither of these teams have shown thus far. Neither team has shown us they're willing to take it long range, and I don't know that there's a range shorter than long on Circuit Royale. Like, every single thing here is happening from 50 yards or more. Widowmaker is fighting from a close range, is a close range hero on this map. It's absolutely insane, and neither team thus far has shown that they're willing to go into that super heavy, long range, anglers types of games. Every single comp that we've seen from either of these teams has been on top of each other, tight knit, wanting to just pierce through the defense as hard as possible. It's been hammer versus anvil all day long. We haven't seen another approach out of either of these teams. We haven't seen angles come through. We haven't seen, trying to play like water and move around the other team. No. Especially Bowling Green has just been a hammer, powering through everything in front of them. And Circuit Royale usually requires a little bit more finesse.
Yeah, interested to see if they try to take out some of these poke comps, right? Are we going to see some Sigma? Are we going to see some Widow, right? We saw, I believe it was Shady on King's Row. He was in that sniper's perch just for a shot or two, right? Trying to get a pick and then switched off of it. So I'm really excited. I hope they play some of these pokes, some of these more technical characters, right? Not that anything that they haven't done has been technical by any means, but some of these more, you know, pixel perfect shots coming through, tight angles, as you were saying, right? If they're bouncing the like gravity balls from Sigma, things like that. So definitely looking to see. So we'll be swapping sides here. We did see Tag. He was playing the Sojourn a little bit. Now Sojourn is kind of that medium, and then the pulse rifle can be that long range, right? So maybe the Tags will take out the Sojourn again. I would love to see it because those overclocks were absolutely massive, tide turning kind of ultimates coming out from them. So we'll see what kind of choices they make in Circuit Royale coming up here.
Bowling Green ready to kind of stake their flag in the state of Ohio, take it to Texas, in which Ohio, Texas feels like two states that should be very closely related, but nope. On completely other sides of the map, they've got completely different styles of play, completely different cultures. It feels like coming into this one. UTA has been sticking to the meta basically the entire time. They seem really locked in on it, which, again, meta is the easiest path to victory. It's not always the best one, but it's the easiest. What's going to work the most of the time. Bowling Green, however, seems to be going with what works for them over everything else. They've got their own skill set, they've got their own way of playing, and they're willing to make it work. And they've adapted this style of Overwatch, this, you know, late 2023. We've had a lot of time, not just in the game of Overwatch, but in Overwatch 2 at this point, where we know a ton about it. And they've taken all that information and asked, how can this work for me and me alone? And they seem to be doing it again here. Bastion, Sojourn, who... they're not the closest range heroes in the game, but they're a lot closer range than we traditionally see here on Circuit Royale. Meanwhile, Arlington, you know, Lucio to get them out of spawn quickly, but everything else, that's standard composition here.
Yeah, and you know what, Loki, we're getting our wish. We're seeing these finesse players, Tags on the Hanzo and Buckle on the Widowmaker, so double sniper DPS line for Arlington. We'll see how Bowling Green decides to approach this, right? Do they kind of find somebody? And there it is, a massive pick from Buckle, finding Nightmare in the back line. Will Bowling Green continue to contest, continue to move forward? They're trying to retreat now, it looks like. But no, ever so slightly, the cart is moving forward. They're dancing around it, trying to get under this bridge, take some high ground space away, and it looks like they're able to do that. Massive shield coming out from the side of Bowling Green with the Sigma. Does he get the rocket? Oh, it just absolutely blocked. I love to see these one-on-one matchups from both sides here as these tanks are just battling it out. Bastion, once again in turret form, is able to get brought down by Andrew, and looks like Arlington is able to stabilize.
Yeah, Arlington doing a really good job here, but they've given up a lot of space. Bowling Green did such a good job of taking so much aggression, taking so much space, even while they were down a hero, that's a fight that looks like they won this point, getting that much progress on the cart. They're already around first corner, and this puts Night Levels in so much of a better position, but not if they get sniped before the fight even starts.
Oh, a sneaky angle he was trying to take, but Buckle was able to have eyes in the sky and just took him down. So see you later. So looks like an easy cleanup for the side of Arlington. They hold once again. I would like to say that Kay had that window ready to go, and he was built up very quickly. They did use it in that fight, however. I'm not sure if it was necessarily needed, but Jupiter will have the sound barrier to contest anything that's coming through from the side of Bowling Green on this next push.
Yeah, I really like that by Arlington. Once you've got the push, just immediately coming around this corner to take the fight right to them. A team that's traditionally been the team that's been more aggressive, that's been on the front. Nope, Arlington says, I've got my pick. I'm going to change the pace of this game. Utterly surprises Bowling Green and is able to keep this corner steady as they swing into this next one.
All right, so we have the POV of Tags. He's laying down the arrows, the storm arrows used. Oh, here comes the captive sun. Won't be able to find anybody. No. Oh, yes, it does. It finds Buckle in the backline. That height advantage from the flying character is able to go through. But here comes the gravitic flux from Andrew, slamming people into the ground, and Tags setting in the dragon right after as they're kind of stunned from hitting the ground. But it does find one in Nightmare. But the battle is still raging on as both sides are contesting this cart as it's nearing ever closer to the first checkpoint. Tags going very low, though, but able to get healed up by his backline K, just sniping people with those healing grenades, and they're able to stabilize once again. Bowling Green has to back off.
Yeah, and we talked about how much progress they made on the first corner. Well, not able to get around the second quite yet, even with this aggression. And oh, Night Levels, no! Oh,
once again, picked off first.
I mean, they just, it doesn't matter how, set up the map for you. It doesn't matter how good your team is set up for you. If you can't get into the fight, Night Levels, that's just brutal.
Loki, only 45 seconds left on the clock. Bowling Green has to do something. They have to make a push here, invest some ultimates. Everybody's got to press Q, something to get around this quarter, break this hard defense of Arlington. They need to figure it out. They need to figure it out now. It looks like they layered the window and the overclock coming through. Can they find something on it? They find the lamp. Okay, but we need something more, Bowling Green. We need something more. Doesn't look like they're able to get it. The Captive Sun flying out from Nightmare. He's looking for it, but the sound barrier, an excellent counter to that from Jupiter, hitting all 5 members of his team. Can he find anybody else? It looks like, Captive Sun was eaten. It was eaten by Andrew, but he does pay his life for it as the Gravitic Flux takes him up and sends it back down. Looks like Bowling Green is looking to find some picks. They do find a couple. Night Level says he returns with a vengeance. He's trying to find some of those revenge kills, and he does get it. It looks like Bowling Green will be able to push through and cap the point.
I love that team positioning from Bowling Green there. When they saw Buckle go up on those back stairs, they very quickly rolled around, made sure to cover that area, force them into a close range game where they had no options of leaving. Buckle has been such a huge problem for Bowling Green, and instead of making a huge comp switch, instead of making, a huge playstyle switch, they chose the location of the fight perfectly to make sure that Buckle couldn't have an impact on any of it. And with Buckle removed, Bowling Green just swims to their next fight win.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming back, tags, throws in the Dragons, is able to separate Shady, right? He wasn't able to back away quickly with his team, and he gets taken down quite quickly. And then from there, the dominoes start to fall, and Arlington comes right through, trying to stabilize their defense. They retake control of this cart and take down every member of Bowling Green. So, able to stabilize once again. Nice fight win from them, but the spawn doors are ever closer here, but they're going to need to make their way up this hill.
A little more time on the clock. Bowling Green can go back to that style where they're choosing where the fights happen. That's so important to them. The hardest thing, though, is going to be getting up this hill. They don't have a great option to fight against the Widowmaker. They don't have a great option to go around the back line and get up to this high ground to really dislodge Arlington. They're good. That may be their way. Not quite going to find anything off the Bastion. That was probably the best bet for it, though.
Can Sigma even eat those things? Like, I thought he couldn't do that, but I guess maybe he can if they were trying to attempt it there. Here comes Andrew now, just collapsing on the back line of Bowling Green. Grant trying to do the best he can to try to get any stagger kills, but not able to do anything, just ends up staggering himself. 45 seconds on the clock again for Bowling Green. Their backs are against the wall. They have 2 ultimates in the bank. Let's see how they approach. Maybe they take the Captive Sun as Elari can, elevate herself. She layers it down, and everyone can kind of scamper up those side stairs and try to ring around the Rosie and capture the cart. So we'll see how they decide to aggress this point.
I do like the switch here from Bowling Green. That would after the Hanzo Tracer also would have been great, just to find something that can try to dislodge Arlington from this great defensive spot that they've got here. Still, though, they're going to be fighting into a ton of ults, and it looks like they're about to start coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, a lot of the cooldowns from Sigma being used, the kinetic grasp and the shield going down, but a nice lamp coming down from Zoloft just at the last second isn't able to save Ilari, so the Captive Sun not going into NFX tag, finding 2 now, stabilizing for his team, just taking everybody down in the back line. Can he finish it off now? Can he find another? No, Night Levels just says, I want to try to take more too. Finds Buckle in the back line with a nice pulse shot, is able to take down the turret as well, which is nice, and a second one from Night Levels. He can find at range, like we were talking about, the Gravitic Flux coming in from Andrew, bringing people up, slamming them down, and an absolute collapse on the side of Arlington as they're just taking the members one by one of Bowling Green. I think they'll be able to cap this point. One final stand from them. The Soldier, the legs, the Ilari jumping around, spraying, shooting, jumping, trying to find any purchase to keep this point alive for their team. Can they do it? The Tracer's about to shoot him down. Wow, no jump. And Buckle says, nope, bird in the sky, you're going down. Whoo!
That last fight feels like the tale of 2 fluxes. BGSU pulls up a perfect one, grabs everyone they need to, almost exactly at half health. Had that Gravitic Flux hit, that would have ended the fight right there. Andrew, though, says no. stuns him out of it. Grant finds nothing. As a result, everyone's clear to go. It sets him up in a position where BGSU doesn't have a great look on the backline. They're not able to grab the corner. They have no angles on the fight. Andrew is able to just completely block everybody out and stall the fight long enough for their own gravitic flux that just utterly shuts down the stall by Bowling Green, who was turning that fight. Had that gravitic flux not come out from Andrew, Bowling Green very realistically is able to take that fight, keep the cart moving, capture the next point. But right at the end, that gravitic flux is the one that hits, and Andrew keeps an amazing defense here on a point 2 of Circuit Royale that we typically see teams struggle really hard to defend.
For sure, yeah, great individual play by him. I think the biggest part of that was I forget who it was. The Sojourn on the side of Bowling Green slid off the side to escape the gravitic flux, and then had to walk their way back up the stairs. That's a ton of time that they weren't able to put in damage. Number one, and two, contest the point. So that's just another factor. Even though he didn't get the kill, he created enough space to get his team to victory. So let's see how they do on the attack now. And see, yeah, so running the double sniper once again. So with the backline of the Ilari and the Baptiste, trying to put down some extra damage, and both Sigmas now from these sides. So let's see how they decide to progress.
Yeah, Bowling Green pulling out a much more meta composition. This is the first time we've really seen them forced off of their kind of own style, what they really like to be playing. Night Levels here forced onto the Widowmaker. Arlington saying if it worked the first time, it's probably going to work again. Let's just keep sending it right here. It's working.
Yep, the double headshots, they coordinated that, said 1, 2, 3, let loose, and they just annihilated with a serious volley into the side of Bowling Green, and that pushes over for them. Andrew finding a couple stragglers here, just pushing them down, mowing them down, putting the shields together. So, but they're trying to keep their hopes alive, using every cooldown that they have. Sends in a rock, does clip them just a little bit. Oh, they do find a healing pylon. Can they take it down for the cooldown? Are they going to move it? They have to move it. No? Okay, they move it there. Right, a ton of space created on the side of Arlington. They need to regroup now on BSG, so what are they going to do? They got to find their way through. The rock comes flying in, but easily blocked. And once again, all the cooldowns on the side of Grant just does not look comfortable on this hero.
No, I mean, it's just really not what we want to see from Bowling Green right now, as they're stuck on this one last point. That flux is charging up, though. If they can stay alive long enough, it might be their chance to atone for that final fight. But first, they've got to get through Andrew, and they don't have the rock to fight it. And Buckle going on a shooting gallery. They're at the arcade right now.
It's like fish in a barrel, my friend. Yeah, that was a well done. He just clean like 1, 2, 3. It was 3 clicks, right. 3 heads, dead.
You remember that game
massive
as a kid,
coordination.
Where they had the toy gun and all the like paper targets would pop up and you just had to shoot them all with the laser? That's what it looks like right now for Buckle. Buckle seriously just looking to put up a new high score at the bowling alley, basically. And Andrew setting up the targets. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. We talked about the support tank connection last time. Now it's the DPS tank connection.
The window laid down by Cat, trying to thwart the advance of Bowling Green as they try to retest this point. The golden box of victory. Wow, nice deflect there. But Tag says, oh, I got one here for you too. Lays down storm arrows, finds a headshot of his own. But is that enough to get Bowling Green back in? Zoloft does find Andrew. He's trying to retreat. A slow character Sigma is. And Grant on the doofus. This is what we want to see. Get him on the character he's comfortable with. And look how much work, look how much space he can make. Bowling Green decides to hold.
Yeah, and this is the perfect area to switch to the Doomfist here. This is the one part where, as the defensive team, you can really shorten up this map with where you choose to take your fights. And Bowling Green has traditionally been amazing at choosing where to take their fights. Keep in mind, though, they still have a comp that's also adjusted to this map. Grant's on the Doom, Shadow Snare on the Genji. Everyone else, though, on characters that work well for this. They've taken their own comp and found a way to make it work for Circuit.
Yeah, but, you know, Loki, 3 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. There's a lot of time to hold with not a lot of meterage left. A nice dive coming in from Grant, but once again, Tags just finds another head with these storm arrows. Absolutely massive pick from him. I'd like to have this POV on Grant. He does have the meteor strike here. Let's see if he uses it offensively. An overclock coming through from Night Levels. We know what kind of work they can put on here. He does find Tags in the backline. Can he find another one? The Ilari uses their escape mechanism to try to create some space and puts down the healing pylon. Does try to whack it in, and it does get the melee kill. So see you later, friend. And Zoloft does find Andrew once again in this fight. So Grant says, no, I'm not done with you yet. See you later. Creating some space. Well done.
Bowling Green here needing an almost heroic hold to send this one, or to keep this from going to game 5 and just shut it down right here. And they've used a lot of the ultimates that would keep them right here. That Doomfist ult already spent. The overclock also gone. They're really going to have to rely on this blade. We need to see an early kill, and we need to see it on Andrew to keep them from getting their flux. There's no defensive ultimate that can really counter that ability. It's going to be important.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. But the blade, though, it's going to be coming in dry. There is no, support with it there. So it's going to be a risky play coming in from Nightshade. And here he decides to use it now. Tries to take it, but the Brigida is there to thwart him. He does get bashed. He gets rocked. He gets sent back to spawn. But okay, so the Bowling Green now at a disadvantage with one player down. The Great Flux comes in from Andrew. Not as much as heroic as it was on the defense. Here comes the window, but the Captive Sun, as everyone was grouped up, a triple kill from Nightmare. Oh, Loki, it absolutely just chain reactioned into a massive explosion of damage that you love to see.
I am amazed. Arlington doing a great job there scouting out, hey, their win con is the blade. Let's throw on Jupiter onto the brig. Let's grab a Gravitic Flux so, that we can win it, protect our tank. And it just doesn't matter. Nightmare erases all of the planning, all of the macro play, says, I'm going to put it on my back, and deadlifts. A fight went out of nothing.
All right, Kay lays down the window, but also lays down his life. He's done for. So Bowling Green, now once again, at a disadvantage coming into this fight. One ultimate just with the Meteor Strike. I don't think that's going to be a heroic play. And here it is. Where does he decide to slam down? He goes in for the backline and takes Jupiter right to the dome. Slams him into the ground. Squashed. Oh my goodness, Andrew trying to go do something on this Diva. An interesting switch from him, trying to eat some bullets, right? But not too much doing. 3 members still alive on the side of Arlington. 39 seconds on the clock. This is last fight territory. They can't get staggered out now. They're looking to try to recontest somehow. The power block here from Grant, trying to just create a little bit of space, some defensive option for him now. He knows he has his back line with him. Let's see how they decide to here comes the magnetic grenade, just launched in. Didn't look like it did any damage now. People are just using the terrain, trying to find an opening. The window laid down from K. Let's see if they get great effect. They just dive right past it. Said if we dive on you, you can't use it.
Again.
Another C. What? Another C9 with the dive. With the dive from the Doofus, everyone decided to collapse, and they said, all right, we'll just push right past you. We need an inch more meterage, and they got it. We're knotted up. We're knotted up again. My goodness.
First it was the C9 from UTA, now it's the C9 from Bowling Green. I mean, hey, you gotta pass around the love, right? That was ridiculous. And a heroic effort there from Nightmare, immediately followed by a heroic effort from Grant. I mean, Grant Scott. Absolutely throwing it through on the Doomfist there. How often do you get to see a Doomfist lowering down to 100 health and get out of it using their ultimate, get a kill, completely crash through? The healing is there, the shields are there, and it keeps them alive. But in the end, they're thwarted by the most simple of things. You gotta stay on the point. Someone's gotta touch cart. And at the end of the day, you can't be running if you're not walking. Both teams having issues with point control thus far. And I'm devastated after seeing an amazing performance like that from Bowling Green, undercut by, just a tragic mistake.
Yeah, I mean, when a dive comes in, just step forward. Okay,
Yeah.
right? Like, just move forward. There's nobody left on that cart. All right, we just move it an inch and we win the golden box of victory. Go. So we're knotted up 2-2. Loki, we're getting our wish. We wanted this to go to game 5, and here we go. We got it. This will be our push map. I'm very excited for it. I'm hoping for more Doomfist flying around. I'm loving to see these plays. Something that I haven't seen in a long time is a kill from the Meteor Strike, right? Because normally a lot of folks are using that as a defensive tool to escape, but he said, I got desperation, gotta go in, gotta find something. And that was a massive pick, right? Onto Jupiter, a big support in Brigida that can create a lot of space, do a lot of defensive maneuvers. So well done from him. So it was cool to see that. A lot of interesting plays. The Captive Sun cascading through the Gravitic Flux and getting sniped down by Buckle. I mean, so many mechanical things like we wanted to see on that map. So I'm sweating. I'm going to take my jacket off after this. So we're having an absolutely wonderful time here on Season 5 EGF Overwatch 2. So push map we go. I believe it's New Queen Street.
Yes.
Or,
Gonna,
yeah.
Yep. we're gonna see it, or as I was, Coliseo is the final map
Okay.
for us here. On push, no chance for, a second go around, no chance for a draw. We're gonna get you a definitive winner here on Coliseo. We've been trading maps back and forth this entire time, and UTA did an amazing job to send it to this map 5, a heroic effort, and manages to break through an almost 3-minute hold to send us here. And where better place to come out of a gladiator match like this than Coliseo?
So, Loki, I have to ask you, what is the mindset of each team, right? Is it Bowling Green like, we got this, we got this, we got this, and is Arlington like, we can't lose this? Like, is that the mindset that you think both teams have, or what do you think?
I think at this point in time, if you're UTA, you've got to kind of be on the edge of your seat here. If you're Bowling Green, you can come into this with a lot more confidence. After the amazing thing you did, after the amazing plays to get it to this point, you can understand, like, oh, hey, we just gave up a C9. We just, we dropped a fight. No worries. We've still been performing insane. If you're UTA, you know that squeaking by on that C9, it doesn't feel like a full win. That doesn't feel like a full victory that you can put in your pocket and draw confidence on. That feels like an escape to this map
Right.
4. And so UTA right now needs to get themselves back into it. Someone's got to be the emotional center at the team. I'm looking at you, main support. You know your team therapist. Do your job. Come on. Let's get hype. Let's get it moving.
Yeah, they have to, make sure they don't get tilted either way, right? They need to maintain a level head. This is map 5. Tensions are a little bit high. No one wants to go home the loser in this one, especially the first week of our EGF season. So both teams coming out now. Bowling Green with their tried and true formation with Nightmare on that Life Weaver, and Grant slamming in on the Doomfist. Andrew on the D.Va, which we thought was a desperation pick in that last map just to get to the point, but he's breaking it out here as the stalwart. So let's see how he's able to use it here on this center area.
I feel like this is a bit of a mirror of Bowling Green's style, but adapting it to your own. Grab the D.Va so you can try to attack that backline down, cut the legs out from under Grant, but the legs are getting cut from under UTA right now as Night Level's already in the backline.
Yeah, he just goes diving in, but the support is always right on him, but that time just not enough. Jupiter is able to thwart that advance, send it back to spawn. Now the rest of Bowling Green will crumble there after Buckle once again on the Cassidy, which makes me think that that's a comfort pick for them, right? If they've been picking this pretty much every map. I've seen it at least once. So especially in that center area, a ton of long sight lines for Cassidy to use that Magnum revolver. So I do like to see it there, able to clean up a couple kills. Nice.
So I've changed my mind on this UTA comp. This isn't a mirror. This is a break. This is a direct counter to what Bowling Green's pulling out. You can see them adjust for it. They have, that Brig to help stun. They've got Buckle in the back in order to just fan the hammer, and then D.Va here to just protect the important targets, make sure K and Jupiter can stay alive so they can provide the support. And as a result, Bowling Green has to switch off onto a different comp than they wanted to play with that Doomfist.
Yeah, and Grant has been doing a really good job on this Orisa, so I don't think he's too beat up about it, but you're right. Arlington put a lot of resources into thwarting that Doomfist pick, so now they might have to make some adjustments themselves. Oh, it looks like a retreating, space-creating Deadeye there from Buckle. Doesn't find anything for it. He's trying to lay some shots in, throwing a magnetic grenade off to the side to thwart any flankers there, but does get taken down. Shady knows his cooldowns were up, so he just goes in for the kill. Nice headshot there. Night Levels finds the little pilot D.Va, sends it back to spawn. Now Bowling Green finally has control of this robot, starts pushing it forward.
We do see the fight, the win probability of these push maps usually go about 60-70% to whoever can win that first fight, which UTA did. Issue is now Bowling Green setting themselves in a really, really strong position here to try and take that right back. If they can chain 2 fight wins together, they can flip those odds right back in their favor.
Yeah, and I like that they didn't try to force the issue, right? They did get a good amount of push on it, but they didn't try to push it forward. Like a massive EMP tagging 4 members of Bowling Green. Are they able to survive it? The nano boost comes through with the Orisa. The Orisa says, all right, I'm pushing forward. I got to make something out of it, but no, pays their life for it as K takes it down. Here comes Jupiter putting in the extra support, extra armor over health for the rest of their team to keep them up, keep them alive. A nice support ultimate there, purpled now from the side of Evan just tossing that in. It looks like they're able to stabilize the pulse bomb, just kind of errantly thrown, but does connect to K, and K's get taken down. Is that the go button? Is that the tide turner here for the side of Bowling Green? Let's see, but it doesn't look like they have all their members here together. They're trying to draw some attention now. Buckle finding his counter in Shady, sending him back. See you later, Jupiter at 40% health. He needs to be dived on. Can they find somebody to do it? He's at 15 health now. They put in the Deadeye to create some space. It does find Evan, but Grant is able to move through that and take Jupiter down. A nice back and forth battle here. And Nightmare doing everything that they can to keep their tank alive, putting in every healing pylon, every healing shot that they can. Let's see if they're able to contest it. K coming back with a vengeance, finds Grant, and they are able to stabilize Arlington. Nice.
I love Jupiter there. The moment K dies, they know how important of a target they are. You see him immediately peel off, try to find cover, try to find an escape. They know they're the only thing keeping Arlington going, and they do such a good job at exactly that, at recognizing how important of a target they are. They manage to extend their life long enough that Bowling Green has to invest a ton of resources in to get them, and K gets back in time to turn the fight. So no loss there on the support line. What an amazing position from Jupiter there.
Yeah, I mean, and that right there, as you were speaking, there was a big stagger on the night levels, and so Bowling Green decided they tried to push in and realized, wait, we only have 4 people, we got to back out, which means more progress on the cart. It's getting pushed to that first checkpoint, like you're mentioning. If you get that first checkpoint, the probability of you winning the map overall is very high. But here comes Bowling Green now, a whole slate of ultimates, but they don't decide to use them, and they don't need to. Winning the fight in the neutral, Grant on this Orisa, mowing people down with that rifle. Well done.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why we see that win probability go up is that a lot of times on these push maps, we see them fights traded back and forth. One team wins a fight, and the next one takes their turn, the next one takes their turn. It's like almost like a turn-based game with how the fight wins end up playing out here. And UTA absolutely in the driver's seat, but look at this, Bowling Green, 4 ults on the table. Their ultimate usage has been the name of the game. If this Diva Bomb can catch anything, doesn't really find a ton.
But it does create enough space to push Nightmare out of position, who then gets tagged by tag, and then Buckle finds one thereafter. But they're trying to move in. Bowling Green, they put on the nano boost to the Orisa. She goes golden, tries to find some picks off of it, but it's just not enough damage. They can't find any purchase, and then they get taken down. It's a big ultimate just thrown down the toilet there.
And once again, I want to call out the supports there. Grant going in deep with that Terra Surge, almost caught a lot, but K able to position that ammo so perfectly that no one on Bowling Green can attack it, and it catches everyone on the support line, keeping everyone alive through the Terra Surge. The healing is right there, the peel is perfect, and UTA wins that fight.
The Captive Sun comes flying in from Nightmare. I can't see if they tagged anybody. I think they got one, but enough to take Jupiter down. And then Andrew says, all right, I'm going for a swim. We're resetting here. They got enough progress, but not enough to get the checkpoint. So there's still hope now with about 4 minutes on the clock for Bowling Green. 2 offensive ultimates in their bank. Let's see how they recontest it here. So they're going to be moving this bot ever forward. They got to stick close to him so he stays with them, stays on their team. Let's see how they decide to engage this. Do they go in with night levels on the EMP? Do they just try to fly in with the Reaper ult? Let's see what they do. The pulse rifle coming in now. Orisa taking the stairs, trying to get some high ground, decides better off for it. And the EMP from the side of tags does get a number of member on the side of Bowling Green, but Orisa moves forward ever more. And Shady Snare says now's the time to press Q, and he does. Gets 2 members down. The back line of Arlington is absolutely decimated, and Bowling Green moves forward, able to take control of the spot once more, and the progress is pushing.
Yeah, Bowling Green's biggest opponent right now is Father Time. They need to take this fight win and chain another one on back on the top of it. This is the first time we've seen a team since the beginning of this match chain 2 fight wins together. Bowling Green looking to try to take advantage of here. They're just barely not going to be able to do so.
Oh, and the Terror Surge takes the people off the bridge and brings them down to their level, so the window is not getting any value. But they need to find some kills. Nightmare does find Jupiter, who had switched to the Lucio to get back to the point, and then uses the Captive Sun and blasts it right into K's face. Tag does try to find one. Evan does go down, but Snare is floating around the area, finding more kills. Andrew laying in the Diva Bomb, but doesn't find any value for it. And Snare says, okay, you're out of your mech. See you later there, friend. And Bowling Green is now able to take the lead, and they're about to get to this checkpoint. What?
Andrew there, an ambitious Diva ult. You can see how much it mattered for UTA. to stay in the driver's seat. That Diva ult thrown in almost as a reset, doesn't even get the reset because Shady Snare is just too good with their positioning and their own usage of that fade. And now Andrew switching back onto the Zarya. That's been their comfort pick this whole time. But look at where Bowling Green's setting up. They know at this point we've got the lead. We can take this fight in a position that we like. We don't have to keep trying to push the wall. And as a result, they could just take it right back to this little underpass.
Yeah, and some more switches coming out from the side of Arlington. Zarya now for Andrew. They did have to go back to get the supports Bowling Green, so I think that's kind of why they made that rotation, but I still like it in terms of strategy. The bubble goes on to the Casty, who lays down the Deadeye, doesn't find any value from it, and while that's happening, Grant just skirts around the side and takes K down, so see you later there, friend. Terra Surge is about to come online here for Grant. That could be the nail in the coffin for the side of Bowling Green, but he gets taken down, Andrew, and now is at 100 charge. He's going to be mowing people down with that lightsaber. He does find one, he does find two. Buckles takes down a couple of heads as well. They retake control of the bot with 1 minute from the clock.
This might go into overtime with how much they have to push this one. They're going to have to win 2 in a row, most likely, in order to get it pushed all of the way, in order to keep Bowling Green from being able to fight it. Arlington now looking to see if they can just swing up these stairs. This is one of the hardest points on this map to get past. And Bowling Green has the perfect comp to deal with it, along with 2 perfectly positioned ults. Grant almost with that Terra Surge, Night Level's already with the EMP.
And the big thing here is that the bot does get to the checkpoint. It's going to have to stop and scratch himself before it makes any more moves. So that's more time off the clock. Andrew almost down 70, 90, back up to full health. He does have the Graviton Surge. Does he decide to let it go? He does. No, he doesn't just yet. The lamp, he has to get that destroyed first. Okay, he's still mowing people down now, putting in that alternate fire. Just finding the golden Orisa right in his face. He's just moving right past him. He finds the healing pylon, tries to find more, moves it once again. Grant taken down. Bowling Green just falling one by one. And looks like Arlington will come out on top for this fight.
Yeah, Bowling Green did a great job, though, making sure they can get another fight here. We're trying to move the bot back just enough that it wasn't getting pushed during that fight. They're gonna have enough time for a recontest here. One last fight to try and take it, and here's Shady trying to make that happen.
Yeah, he goes in for the touch, but now he's used all of his cooldowns and he gets punished for his life. So it's going to be a uphill battle here for Bowling Green. The Graviton Surge held on patiently by Andrew, just launches it in, gets everybody grouped up and everybody sent down. I think that's a fight win and a map win and a game win for University of Texas Arlington.
Yeah, amazing job in those last 2 fights, making sure they kept just enough ultimates that they have enough to win the recontest. You saw them holding on to that Zarya ult there, knowing, hey, if we can't win this fight without using the Zarya ult, then it doesn't matter that we win it. We have to win it with the tools in order to set up for the next fight in order to grab the win. Amazing performance by UTA. We've seen the ultimate game being stolen by Bowling Green this entire match. In order to win, UTA takes a card out of Bowling Green's wallet and able to play it at the perfect time. Still, though, I think that's a statement game for both of these teams to set themselves up for the rest of the season to grab all of the confidence they could ever need to show a performance beyond any level I think we were expecting in week 1. I mean, that's just an all-around victory, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a testament to the amount of preseason work that both squads have put into, right? We saw a ton of plays that have been practiced, set up, mapped out, all that kind of thing. One thing I will say about that last map on Caliseo is that once Bowling Green was able to get that massive push, they got that checkpoint, and then they backed off because they had to regroup to get their supports. If they had won that fight, I think that would have won them the game, right? Even if they got a couple picks, right? I think that would have been enough to stabilize them that area. Keep the bot kind of far away, and I don't think that Arlington would have had enough time to come back in. Obviously, we can nitpick it as much as we want, but they're going to be looking at that fight again, right? And some VOD reviews to see, okay, how can we take that one better? What do we need to do? Do we need to take the left path instead of the right path, right? Whatever it might be. So I think there's some learning takeaways for them. They had the right strategy. They just couldn't execute it right there at the final moment. But fantastic work from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the perfect game to look at for VOD reviews. I mean, it's so tightly matched, everything on a knife's edge. It shows you 2 different styles of gameplay, how you want to match up to things. And with that great VOD review stuff, we get to do a little bit of a VOD review of our own. We've got an interview with Andrew, going to be getting into that right after a short break.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are joined by Andrew, the main tank of University Texas Arlington. Andrew, welcome to the stream. We're happy to interview you. How do you feel, man? And that was
I feel good. I feel dangerous.
I can tell. So for those, we don't have him on screen, but he's wearing sick aviators. They're reflecting the ferocity that he has. Andrew, we have a couple of questions for you. You were playing a number of different tanks. We saw the Zarya, the Diva, we saw the Sigma, the Orisa. Like, how are you practicing all these characters to such fine-tuned to finesse? Like, it was incredible to see.
I mean, it's been a lot of scrims and just determining like what tank is best for what situation. I've been playing tank for like I mostly played tank in Overwatch 1 for like 5 years, and then I switched to DPS last semester, Overwatch 2, and then I was like, you know what, these EGF tanks aren't very good, so let me come do my thing here on tank again, and so it's like riding a bike.
All right. Cool.
Well, I mean, talk to me a little bit going into map 3, or as I was going into map 4, Secret Royale, coming off a flashpoint loss. Can't get past 1 point for 3 minutes, just trying to roll through. Tell me how you're feeling going into that last kind of do or die fight. Like, what's the energy?
I mean, it was focus. It was the energy. We knew we were able to beat them on circuit. We hit some roadblocks, some composition switches from them that I don't think we were ready for. But once we figured it out and made our own swaps, we got it down and we figured it out.
Yeah. Well, on that same note, trying to figure it out, going to 5 maps. It's a long game. How do you keep the spirit and the energy, so high throughout all of those maps?
I think it's just confidence and knowing what we're good at. It wasn't like a lot of energy. We're just focused and again, we just confidence and just knowing what we're playing what we're good at, not letting them get out of our comfort zone, and kind of making the swaps that we need to make.
Yeah, for sure. So going into map 5, it's knotted up 2-2. Are you the one keeping everybody at a level head, or are you like hyping everybody up? What's kind of the vibe going into a map 5 in this kind of game?
To be honest, I don't think anybody needed to be kept level-headed. I think we were all zoned in map 5. Again, it was, it was pretty quiet. We were just vibing, just keeping the focus in. That was number one thing, is just don't lose focus. Don't start feeling upset because we're down and going map 5. You just got to stay focused, stay on top, and do what we do best.
Nice. Cool. So did you have a favorite tank that you like to play? Because like we were mentioning, you had a ton of different tanks going through. The Zarya was used to great effect. You had Diva as kind of like your switch hit pick. So which tank did you like playing the best tonight?
Playing tonight, I guess I'd say Diva, because then my team can just carry me. I don't have to do anything. In general though, I guess Doomfist, but they were playing Sombra, so it was boring. So I had to swap.
Gotcha.
Well,
okay.
With all of that, is there anyone you want to shout out, give those kudos to? Who on your team do you really think deserves kind of like the lift up the pedestal, if you will?
Yeah, I got a few shout outs. Shout out first and foremost to God for this blessing and opportunity to represent UTA. I wouldn't be here without him. So I want to say thank you to Noah, our director. Y'all can't see him on the screen, but he's here. Shout out to him for making all this possible. Shout out to the team, new team this year. Feels great though. Like, I think it's probably the best vibes I've ever had on a team. So I appreciate them. Appreciate all my friends. UTA COD Superstar Austin for supporting me. Shout out to all my friends and family, parents that watch me. Appreciate them.
Absolutely. Well, with that, thank you for joining us. Loved having you here. Amazing performance all around for the UTA squad. Love that from Bowling Green as well as UTA. I gotta ask, Philly, after all of these performances all day, your first time in the EGF, how are you feeling?
Oh man, I am hyped. I'm excited for the next match. I took my jacket off because I'm so sweaty. Like I am ready to go. I'm ready here for the long haul over on the East Coast. I'm so excited for the matchup. Andrew, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate you. We look forward to casting more of your games in the future.
Thank you.
With that, though, I do think we're going to be sending it to a short break. Don't worry, we'll be back with more Overwatch. Sadly, though, this will be my first and last match of the day. Going to be throwing it off to another great caster to take you through the rest of it, navigate the rest of this Overwatch amazing play that you're seeing here. So for this match, thank you for me from Loki. Philly, thank you as well. We'll be just back after a short break, so don't go anywhere.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the EGFC series season 5. We are in our next match of the day and you have already been seeing on the screen for last 2 minutes. It is UTK versus the RIT, Rochester Institute of Technology, versus the University of Tennessee. Now, before we get into all that, we do have a very quick video from the University of Tennessee for their comeback into the scene. So before going into any of these matches, take a quick look.
Kill the whole team.
Bro, I'm like an iron cannon.
Now that was the video of all time, Philly. Oh,
that got me
so
so
good.
hyped, Mod. So
That
hyped.
was so good. Oh, it was the Taco Bell ding that really caught me. It was all the memes. It was the Genji portion. Nah, I think that was probably one of the best comeback videos I've seen in a very long time in the EGF series. But again, I mean, amazing job to UTK for that video in general. But before we get started, again, I'm Mataneva, and I'm joined by the lovely, amazing Philly, who you've been seeing cast for the past like 3 hours. You're a champ for that.
I'm doing my best. I'm just so excited to be here on my first EGF cast with everybody. Just learning everybody in the server has been just a fantastic experience for me. So I just love being here, and it's just gonna hope to share that love with you all for Overwatch and collegiate esports in general. So thank you so much, Matt.
No, of course, please. But regardless, we should be starting up real soon as our players get really ready here. Now, of course, I mean, it really could go either way, right? So what can we say about both teams? Well, both of them, they're coming back. As you can see, University of Tennessee is coming right back in to the scene, right? So it could be what we always see in the meta. It could be always meta picks like we saw in our last series. It could be that unkillable Orisa on the tank. It could be that double sniper combo again, like we saw in Circus Royale. It could be the unkillable duo of Lucio Bap. It could be Iari Bap. It's a lot that could be going on here. We can go full meta. We can go full crazy, you know, as well. We can go Genji, Mei, do whatever you want. Even why not go Junkrat? You know, anything can really happen here.
And that's the beauty of Overwatch, is that you can switch on the fly, you can adjust to counter the other team, and I think as we evolve the series, we'll see where the comfort picks lie for both of these teams. Once again, this is the first week of the EGF Season 5 season, and we're going to be heading right into Ilios, which is a control map here for both sides. So very excited for this one. Hopefully it goes the distance again, because you and I are going to have a great time casting these two wonderful teams.
Oh, absolutely. Whenever it's Overwatch, you know, I feel like there's always something going on. There's always something to talk about. There's never really like a slow moment, especially in Overwatch 2, that being like, you know, we're getting rid of the 6v6 from Overwatch 1. We're only 5v5. We have, you know, a lot going on at once. There's always something going on the back line. There's always something going on the front line. There's always something to talk about, especially on control point, where you know, you're forced to be really close together. You're forced to play a lot of time that brawl or rush composition.
Yeah, it's an all-out brawl on control. There's never a dull moment, like you were saying. The teams are constantly going to be at each other, locking horns, trying to take as much space as they can to push the other one off and get the capture percentage in their favor. So yeah, I'm probably going to see Orisa, Zarya, maybe even the Doom's Fist, right? If we had any indication from the last matchup, which I love to see, a lot of mechanical skill coming out from that type of character. So, but who knows? Maybe the Reinhardt. Maybe they have a Reinhardt specialist and they decide to, you know, shield up there and roll in with that composition. So who's to say? When we go into Ilios here, I'm excited for it. I'm on the edge of my seat here to see what these teams bring out for us.
I completely agree with you. And as someone who, you know, only plays support and loves playing Ana, if I have a good Ryan on my team on control and I have a Lucio boosting us to the point, we are rolling. We are really good to go. So as we start up here, we have the Volunteers versus the Tigers up on deck. It's gonna be a brawl. It's gonna be a dog fight. It's gonna be a cat fight. It could be really whatever. On Ilios especially. Oh, if I don't see Lucio booping everyone into the well, into the ocean, into the sky, I need to see all of it. All of it today, Philly. Okay, I need to see all of it.
Yeah, I would love to see it, especially those boops, absolutely immaculate stuff. So it looks like, okay, I was about to say the Roadhog coming out from RT or RIT, but they switched the Orisa, which is kind of the meta here. But we have a Winston on the other side. So Duxta, we saw from that hype video that he's kind of looking to be the steel, the hammer down for this composition here, the linchpin, if you will. So, Ma, take it away, break it down.
Of course, look, we're already started with that tight action right here in that little building in the very front of the objective. Now, Winston is a really great dive character. He gets in and out really quickly, but you know who also gets in and out? Unfortunately, it's going to be Legacy on the brig. Like, got overwhelmed. It's going to be that Bab is going to be taking her out, and although that shield's so good, sometimes it's just not enough. Now, Hydra on the back line, taking care of the Bastion. The Bastion is so strong right now, but again, it's the Bab just cleaning it up for his team, and again, boom, that's already the point taken in favor of RIT.
Yeah, so in that fight, RIT was able to play very compact, right? They were moving together. The Lucio was kind of the controller, the caller, right? Saying like, all right, we're moving here, we're moving there. They were able to split Tennessee into two and just take characters down one by one. And with that, they were able to then rotate to the point and capture it. So the percent is now accruing in their favor. Looks like Tennessee is now trying to come in, but with only 2 members.
Yeah, and unfortunately that kind of happens where the entire team is able to regroup. You may have 1 or 2 losses there, you may have 1 fallen soldier, and then suddenly it gets a little overwhelming. Even Orisa, who is notorious for being unkillable, for surviving a little bit too long sometimes, even she cannot cannot take care of a 4v1 by herself. Now, Hydra getting that nice pick on the Bastion with the Pulse Bomb. That's such a huge pick as well because of how strong Bastion is with those recent buffs he got and a slight nerf to his armor back in turret form. Now look at this. I love the Widow here from Blasphemy. It's just You're threatening on the point. You're seeing that Orisa is kind of negating, trying see where that Widow is, and there we go. We have to get out of there as soon as possible as Widow before you start getting hit by that Lucio. Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, nice. A teleport coming out. So the Symmetra switch from RIT, moving up to that high ground, the beat getting layered on top of it to secure that point, make sure that they have it, and they're looking to secure this and move on to the point. But right now, it's still in the favor of Tennessee, and the percentage is accruing. All right, they finally secure the fight win. They knock all those members out, and they're able to... No, they're not able to flip it. Marty, what just happened? I thought they had that in locked, but they were able to be countered and then taken down. So the point's still in favor of Knoxville.
I thought it was gonna happen the same way, and I saw Rescue Toes go to the point and try to be a little sneaky, back happer. I can see the vision. I've done it before. I've seen the vision. But unfortunately, the awareness of taking care of the rest of the team, they had no healing, they had no speed boost to get out of there. It led to a very nice dominant continuance from the University of Tennessee. Now again, we're gonna be TPing onto the top of the building here, the objective, but it's not gonna be enough. Boom, that's 3 down. Ducksta is putting down the field here to make everything go as well as possible for his team. Even though he did get out, we should be able to see a nice cleanup from the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, and that was a very telegraphed teleport there, right? They moved to the high ground, but once you're on the high ground, what were you going to do from there? Where were you going to go? And so they were able to collapse on them very quickly. Something that I like to see is the Widow over here from Knoxville finding these very nice spots. It wasn't contested at all. With the thing with the Orisa is that she can't get high ground or low ground very quickly, right? She has to walk everywhere. So if the Widow is on a nice perch, who's going to contest that? Right? Who was getting to her? So she had free range to just click heads, and that's exactly what she did. Mowed down the opposition there. An easy hold for Knoxville. And now we're going to Ruins. Nice RNG for them here. It'll be another good map for this Widow. I'm looking to see her really paint the battlefield with some bullets.
Absolutely, and you're already seeing here, hopefully they don't switch, but we might be having a Widow duel, likely on those top ruined platforms in the very beginning of the map before we get to objective, where Widow loves to kind of sit around. She has that Mega Pack underneath her, so she can self-sustain for a little while longer. The only thing that's going to be an issue here is that nerf she did get, I believe last season or 2 seasons ago, where that one-shot range is not going to be as effective in that old spot, but you can still get a lot of really good picks here. Like right here, you're already seeing the Tracer come in, and Scorch is already down and is basically one right now. Not able to unfortunately go and retrieve and get some health, and the supports weren't able to really go back and save them in time. The immortality field is so huge here in this little corner. Can we survive a little longer? You know who can survive? Junker Queen for a very long time. Beautiful stuff from the supports. Beautiful self-healing from Junker Queen. But again, it's gonna be going over University of Tennessee once more.
Yeah, some jockeying of space in there, right? Push and pull, tug of war that the tanks have to kind of navigate very deftly. Unfortunately, it goes in the favor of our Rochester Institute technology. They're able to take the point. It's tough because Orisa has a lot of armor, and that buckshot gun from the Junker Queen is not really going to chunk through that very quickly. So it's up to the other members of the side of Knoxville to kind of take her down, and who's going to do that, right? If the sniper is kind of just shooting off in the range trying to counter Scorch, then it's got to be up to Hydra, but Hydra's going to try to attack the backline. So I'm not sure about the Junker Queen here. Let's see what they do. There it is. The BAP is the one putting down the damage.
Oh, and there goes Bab getting boop. That's why I told you I needed to see Lucio boops. I need to see Lucio boops, and I saw them today. Scorch and Liam both falling to the Lucio boop, which by the way, there's 3 trillion boops recorded that have happened in Overwatch 2. Just so you know,
wow.
That's a lot of boops. So
I love that stat, Marty.
I'm telling you, it's a really funny stat, and it's a good stat as well. It's good for Lucio, it's good for Brig. No switches here quite yet. We're going to stay Jungle Queen. We're going to stay with the Widows. And Hydra, again, knowing the role that they have to play, get on that Widow. Then do not let the Widow play the game. And unfortunately, it goes back to Hydra. Rescue Toes cleaning it up again. And I think this Lucio from Legacy is really putting in the work.
Very bloodthirsty from them. They're looking for every headshot, every kill that they can get. They got a double boop, Monty, when they were doing that earlier. That was on my bingo card for tonight, so definitely got to check that one off for free. Looks like, once again, another telegraphed teleport from the side of RTI. So it was easily countered from Knoxville, and this time they have a full slate of ultimates to hold this point once again. So let's see how they do it as another teleport comes into this high ground.
Oh, that's a humongous rampage, and it has to force out the beat drive from Lucio, but is it gonna be enough? Unfortunately, it's not. That's already 2 down. You have no supports. You have Bap falling. You have the tank falling. You have everyone just kind of falling. And again, look at this. They only used 1 ultimate, and that was Jungle Queen Rampage. It's such a great usage of that anti. You can't heal. Oh, we don't have a key to go to cleanse it. You don't have any tool to kind of negate that. Insane pulse bomb, but a little bit too telegraphed, in my opinion. Might have not been what you needed. Oh! Oh, you saw that! Oh! Okay, Widow! Okay, Blamothy!
Wow, absolutely uncontested up here, just pinging heads, creating so much space that RTI could not even get to the point. Another easy round victory from the side of Tennessee. They take control on Ilios.
And control they did take. I mean, it was, and I was gonna say, yes, Blamothy was just playing out of their mind on the Widow. And unfortunately for Rochester Institute of Technology, they never had a character besides Hydra in the second round where that Widow was being contested. Jesus, that Widow was being contested whatsoever. You didn't have a a tank switch, i.e. like Winston, Doom, or Diva to bully that Widow. The Lucio didn't have the opportunity to go bully the Widow because we had to use speed boost to disengage, re-engage as fast as possible. Like, you had no opportunity to really bully that Widow, and that just allowed their Widow to shine so beautifully.
Yeah, and if I'm Tennessee, I'm going to stay on the Widow. I'm going to keep playing Widow until you do something to make me switch off of it. So if I'm Rochester right now, I'm kind of going back to the drawing board. Okay, we need to make them play our game, right? Not just, like you were saying, you can play the meta, but if that's not the way you like to play or the heroes you like to play, then you're not going to shine, right? So Rochester, they're really going to try to force Tennessee to play their game. And I think that that's getting Blemothy off that Widowmaker, because pinging those heads, that's easy pickings from him. He was not contested in the slightest. I think maybe even he had 1 death to his name. So with that, you can't let that happen. You can't let that slide. So we'll see what kind of changes come out here in the next map.
I mean, yeah, like you said, the changes that have to be made are just skewed towards the Widow. They took care of their tank relatively well. They took care of all the other DPSs really well. It was just Widow. Widow is doing really well, not being contested. So, as we move on to our next map, right? I believe we're going over to Escort.
It'll be Hybrid Kings Row, I believe.
Oh, my favorite map. I don't know how I could ever forget my baby girl. Kings Row has a very special place, I think, in everyone's heart. Especially if you're playing that. Oh my God, they're gonna play Widow on Kings Row. They're gonna play Widow on Kings Row, Philly. I know they are, and they're gonna be so good. I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Monty. There's so many high ground areas for this Widow to perch, right? And if RTI is not going to play anything that's going to contest these high grounds, even if they even send a bat with the exo boots up there, they got to do something, right, to get this Widow out of position, make her feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a ton of opportunity for Widow to be pinging some heads.
Oh, absolutely. And I think some of the comps you can also see here, a lot of them just kind of play relatively well. I think things like again, Brawl is really fun to play as on defense. I'm a Brawl junkie. I love playing Brawl. But also sometimes even like a good poke defense can also kind of work if you have that Sigma. Just pull out that shield, especially for that Widow. You put that Sigma shield all the way up on there, and what's Widow going to do? What is she going to do if that shield's right in front of her? But as I say all that, we are going to be seeing that Brawl comp most likely from Rochester Institute of Technology if they don't switch anything. I'm just saying, they don't switch. I'm loving the Rhine. I'm loving the Mei. I see the vision. I see the devious activity we are actively thinking about in the Reinhardt Mei comp right here.
Looks like we're going to get a quick restart. Just get everybody reset their latency, their ping, so everyone's on kind of the same. But yeah, Madi, I mean, there's a lot to talk about just with some of those compositions that they were showing. So if they pull out the Rhine, I would love to see it. Some absolutely massive shatters coming through. That would be awesome. So with that, I mean, the main job for the Reinhardt there is to protect those choke points, protect those pathways to allow Mei and Bastion to do their work from long range, right? Really focus down one target, take them down, move on to the next. There's a lot of team coordination when you have a Reinhardt, because he's going to be calling out who to go for. He's going to be saying, oh, my shield's about to to go. We need to hide. We need to do this. So we'll see if Rochester has that coordination, because yeah, they do that first step where they maybe have to teleport to a certain location, but then they just get dissected by the University of Tennessee. So they have to be a little bit more discreet, a little bit more sneaky as they're navigating these pathways. So we'll see what they do on this map coming up.
Oh, absolutely. And again, we did see that Doom at the very beginning. I'm not sure they're gonna keep the Doom, but let's talk about it. Doom, a hero, definitely a tank. And unfortunately, he has so many counters. He has on a sleep, Sombra hack in general just negates the poor character. Orisa, like a lot of different things that Doom players have to like work around. They have to kind of play, 4D chess where everyone's playing regular chess. They have to do so much more legwork to make sure that they are able to actually do what Doom does. Negate the backline, just bully the backline a little bit. A little tickle here and there to the Ana, to the Bab, like, oh, slam, punch, you can't heal anymore for a little bit. Go back, I'm low health, As a support player myself on this map, I usually will go Ana on both defense and attack, just because of first of all, I can walk to high ground, which is quite nice. Second of all, you have all the long sight range, you have a lot of good cover areas. As a support unit, a lot of different compositions are so flexible on King's Row, on either defense or attack.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a really good point with the Doomfist, right? So there's a couple of extra things that they have to think about. Of course, everyone's going to be trying to track cooldowns as much as possible, but with Doomfist, that's your lifeblood. If you know that Sleep Dart came out because they're trying to, take out another flanker like a Sombra or Trace or whatever, then that's your go button. That's your time to jump. So if you have to spot those minute abilities as everything is flying around you and you're trying to protect your team and you're trying to do this, right? So I think that's just another layer that makes that character so difficult but so beautiful to watch, right? So if you find a really skilled Doomfist player, then you'll see them be able to make those quick decisions. Looks like we do have a couple of switches on the side of Knoxville. Looks like Blemethy is going to the tank role. Duxta is moving over to the DPS role. So just some switches there to note. And we have Rochester on the attack here as they're moving through the choke.
All right, absolutely. And look, like we said, we are going to be seeing that Ryan and May combo. That wall into pin is going to be devious. And look, the speed boost will go right through that little corridor there and take the point from kind of the uncomfortable angle for University of Tennessee. Is such a nice play in hand. The pin is going to be taking out Blemethy's Doomfist. And then Bap again, Liam at the helm, doing so well with the Bap, getting some good, easy picks, some solid picks, especially on the flanking Tracer. And again, I think this kind of just wraps here. Where's my Ana going? She's leaving. She has to go. The Brig and the Ana combo, it go insane. And they have to protect one another, because if not, that Ryan's gonna come in and completely obliterate you.
Madi, there was an excellent 5-person anti-nade coming out from the Ana on the side of Knoxville, but they were able to coordinate well, put themselves in the lamp, and then survive it. And then, fortunately or unfortunately, Blemethy's kind of just out there on his lonesome. Everyone else is kind of doing their own thing on different angles, right? Trying to maybe dive the back line, shoot from afar, and then he just got pinned down and crushed. So from there, everything else was crumbled, and Rochester was able to take the point. So now we move to the streets phase, which we didn't get to see last game. So we'll see how these teams are able to combat this area of the map.
All right, look, it's like there's like a really big reversal here in favor of University of Tennessee, where now is before it was kind of like, oh my God, they're in our back line. They're completely surrounding us. We are taking a lot of picks out. But now look at this. Now they finally got control of the point, and they got control of the car for a little bit here. But look at the time. They have 4.5 minutes to play with, to get back and get this car. And look at this nade. Oh my goodness. Props to Parvir for the amazing nades so far in this series.
That's 2 5-person nades from them. But once again, Blemethy caught out on his lonesome. No support, no follow-up. So yeah, maybe Pavari is throwing in those nades, but he's not shooting healing darts into his tank. So the tank is just going down. So it's going to be a little bit more free push coming out here from Rochester. A nanovisor coming through from Duxta. Does he get a kill? He does get 1. Can he find more? He does find 2. Can he find a 3rd for us? He just laid down some shots. The nano does end, and everyone from Rochester needs to back out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is your one chance. You hear Visor, you hear Nano at the same time. It's time to leave. It's time to go and skedaddle back to point. Now, this is the reset that you need to have as UTK because of how fast that RIT did get that objective secured and having to escort the point. You gotta basically play like one hive mind, like just one person, and I think they're doing that so well so far. That Doomfist is quite low. Can't get the Mega Pack in time, and unfortunately, Mammoth is not able to get that Mega Pack. We aren't able to get our supports. We can't get the Mega Pack, and we are down our tank. Now, that kind of forces all the other squishies, especially our Tracer, to kind of retreat a little bit, but instead we're going to be duking out with this Lucio, as we should, missing the anti-nade, but no one's really able to contest this cart whatsoever without that Doomfist at the helm.
Yeah, another getting caught out on his lonesome once more. Like we said, Blemethy is not naturally a tank player, right? He's normally the DPS, so I guess he's just trying his hand as Doom was once a DPS. Here comes the Blizzard, massive, trying to lock some players into place. Does get to Blemethy, and then he gets hammered down as well. Can he escape? He gets a little bit of health. Finds a little bit of health pack over there. Gets healed up by Bavar and is able to recontest the point. Bavar now in the back line, way of what gone for the rest of his team, and take it down back to spawns. Looks like he's not able to cap that point. They're moving on to phase 3.
Yeah, even though they tried to contest the very last minute, that Blizzard was a very huge moment there. They were not able to stop the payload from capping point B, correct? So we have another 4-ish minutes to really play around with. You can definitely get to point C, especially because we're already halfway there. All you have to really do is, again, we have that beat drop already ready for Lucio. We have Deadeye as well, which could be really sneaky if Squirrels does go around for that, like, you know, that backline Deadeye. I'm loving this Lucio play as well. We're going for the healing, and we have to go for Speed Boost here because I think our team's a little bit in trouble right now. The Meteor Strike coming in and forcing the beat drop. Absolutely beautiful play from Lucio.
There comes Scorch. He's doing a little bit of the zoning. Can he find something for it? No, he does get punched in the face a little bit there. And it looks like the battle is going to be raging on both sides. Reinhardt's still full health, though. They can do a massive amount of damage with that hammer. But Blemethy being a menace in the back line, putting down a ton of work. He does get tagged with the magnetic grenade from long range, but still is able to get toast. I think this is going to be a full reset for Rochester here. They did spend a couple of ultimates and didn't get too much purchase on the payload, unfortunately. They will have a window coming back in. They're going to be looking to combo that with some fire strikes, some icicle shots, hopefully get some picks. Here comes the Nano now.
Yep, another Nano visor for your effort. That's just the BAP and the Immortality field down. And can we contest it? The shield has to be put up. And man, can Ryan get out of there fast enough? And thankfully, yes, Seb is able to get out of there with the skin of his teeth at that point, with no shield, just running away, like, so just scary. So again, another forced reset within about 20 seconds of one another. Again, what can we do here? We have to kind of group up, and this soldier on high ground likely cannot be contested by really anybody. Who in this group can go to high ground? Maybe May with that ice wall, but at this point, she's way more focused on, you know, walling out that tank, utilizing that Ryan May support, that duo. And again, this soldier is pretty much uncontested. On that high ground, went right behind, got the finishing kills. It's really a matter of how can we deal with this soldier. Duckstar on the soldier is doing so good.
So Doomfist players rub their hands together when they see a full group of 5 like lined up, because they put in that seismic slam, they get everybody together and then punch everybody. So when they were just corralled into that tiny room, you saw Blemethy immediately strike. He stunned everybody up, and then the soldier just putting a massive amount of damage. Once again, on that high ground purchase, nothing can get him off of that. Blemethy here caught in the back line, and he gets taken down. Looks like this might be the go button. Nope, as I say that, Liam does fall down, and that's the majority of the healing for this squad. Rochester will not be able to push forward here. Seb on his lonesome now, just getting taken down. A full reset once again for RIT.
Yo, that's charge. No, he just gave up. I get it. I get it. I so get it. Nah, unfortunately, another forced reset. We're less than a minute from trying to at least cap. I mean, even if we don't cap 2 points and halfway almost to like the 3rd point is so good. It's so good when you're going to be on defense in under a minute, but man, it's a lot where they keep going to the hallway all together, and like you said, Doomfist licked their lips. They rubbed their hands together, loving that opportunity for all those people to be in one room all together, to be punched to death. That huge anti-nade is also going to be a nice factor for University of Tennessee to just capitalize on. Again, a beautiful, almost team kill. trying to get the rest of them right here, and there's the cast gone and dusted. There's the team kill. Thank you, Athena.
Yeah, the big thing there that I really enjoyed was the it was almost like a switch, right? They baited Rochester into using the May ultimate, right? So they were like, all right, we'll do this thing again, try to bait them and get them all in that small room with the May ultimate, but they got baited themselves, and then they wasted that ultimate and had to switch off it. Now they're now on the sim. A few ultimates in the bank. Here comes the Deadeye. Let's see if they can use it.
Alright, everyone's hiding. You see everyone standing still? Yeah, that's a support thing over there. See, they're standing still together? Yup, I get it. Deadeye's really scared. Now, I love the fact that we switched over to the sim. And it's like, humongous shatter! Get him out of here! He may be Nano, but we do not care. We do not care. We gotta get rid of that soldier as fast as possible. That forces the window to be used as well. That Mortai lamp is... Oh my god, everything is working so well for this team. A big anti-nade though, can they kind of survive right through it? Hopefully they can. Hopefully they also don't get too wrapped up in things where they C9 off the car. We saw a lot earlier today, so hopefully it does not happen again. This sim pick is so good. They are fighting for their lives on this payload. Doomfist on the payload has to hop right off again. Legacy is the only one on the payload trying to contest as, again, Seb and Fulgus on the sim and Ryan respectively get their nice picks going. It's just Doom by himself with Ana in the backline attempting to get something started here with those nades.
Something that was absolutely immaculate there was the fact that Liam was in that small room. He had a really great angle for the team to just layer in those healing grenades and really help them survive that fight. And here he goes with the Immortality Lamp, keeping everybody up. You see him jumping through the sound barrier now, laying down to all 5 members of the team. They got to be able to take this Doomfist now. You can see the Sim turret slowing him up, doing a ton of damage, but the Ana healing grenade is able to keep him up, and now he receives the Nano. He does get pinned out of it, launched into the wall. Is that enough to get him off the point? It is a nice tactical play by Seb to clear the point for his team and get the cap to the end.
I cannot believe they clutched it. Especially after watching the last series and a lot of unfortunate C9s. I could see it happen. I was smelling it. I knew the same was going to happen, but it didn't, and I'm so happy it didn't because that final push was so good for RIT. I mean, it was just good for you guys. You guys did absolutely amazing, but now it's gonna be on the other side of things. Can we get 3 points? Can we even make it to last point? Can we get us into a 4th round? You know, it's all these little things, or it's like technically 2nd round, but it's all these little things that are a little bit, you know, it psychs you out a little bit. Can we even make it to the objective, you know? So humongous props to RIT for actually making it all the way there, but University of Tennessee, I believe in you. I'm loving this Doom, by the way, from Bladmathy. I mean, if you think about it, Doom was DPS in Overwatch 1. If I am DPS, I can play Doom. I got it. I get the logic. And you're doing amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so RIT, they do the attack, they get 3 points, even if it's in the overtimes at 0, like, you know, time on the clock. But you feel good about that, right? Getting 3 points on King's Row, that's a big feat in and of itself. So you feel good. Now it's just up to your defense. What set plays do you have? What strategy are you going in? You know that they're going to play the Doom again. What are you going to do to counter it? They go with the May, they go with the Cassidy in the backline with that magnetic grenade. So let's see what they do for it here. Looks like Blemothy is going to be in the backline, being a nuisance.
He's being a nuisance, but he's also not in view of his supports just in case anything does go awry. I love that Legacy is playing that Brig role so well, by the way. Shout out to supports on both teams. Oh, are they already on point? Look at this. I love that sometimes, you know, typically when you're not all together in a team, you typically lose a lot of team fights, but the fact that they were staggered is actually working out incredibly well for the University of Tennessee. It's actually kind of incredible how well they're playing even while they're not all together at once.
I need to see the stats on these biotic grenades because the amount of purple that I'm seeing on the screen at any given time is absolutely insane. These grenades are winning the fight. Like, Blemothy should have died there at least 3 times. The grenade came, healed him up, and it also was a detriment to the opposing team. And now look at this. They swung the point in their favor, and they're about to cap it quite easily.
And it's capped. Just as quickly as RIT was able to do it, so was the University of Tennessee. And I love that. Again, now it's pretty much an even playing field. We do have 5 minutes on the clock, as it was for both teams. And anything can happen once more. Can they get to this choke? A lot of times, look at this. They're all going up to that high ground, likely to drop right down. there aren't any ultimates lined up except for Bap Window, which is coming out real soon, but I love the awareness from Blamethy to contest and punch all 5 of them up on that roof, and now everyone knows where they are. Can they continue that game plan? No, unfortunately they cannot. They're forced up to low ground.
Yeah, I mean, Blemethy, he's doing some scouting. He's almost being like a Sombra, right? Just like looking where the team's going, telling everybody what route they're taking. Once again, this is something that the problem that the RIT is having is they're very telegraphed. Everyone knows, and here's the Nanovisor once again, but gets pinned and taken down pretty immediately. So that dual ultimate combo thwarted quite nicely by RIT there. Well done.
What can we see here? Blamethy's all by himself. Anna's trying to heal him from a very unfortunate position. Love the awareness there to get the health pack. Hopefully able to also get out there in time. Okay, Anna. I love that when Anna's make great plays like that. Get rid of the Lucio. Get rid of... Okay, Anna! Getting rid of the force there is actually immaculate there. Ducks the end part of our kind of able to just bring it right back. We were seeing a little bit of a scary situation there, but the duo of the Soldier and the Ana, it works, and they basically just secure that for their team while everyone's trying to come back.
Yeah, so the respawn advantage definitely coming in favor there for the attackers. They were able to regroup quite quickly and then, kind of pick off the remaining members of RIT. That was actually a hilarious play just at the end there with the punch into the sticky bomb to finish off Seb. I don't think the pulse bomb is necessarily needed, but a nice play either way. So here we go. Once again, Blemethy being a nuisance to the backline, and that purple taking everybody low. Scorch, he's about to die. Can he get healed up? He can, but he's getting punched, squashed, hammered down into the dirt.
And another couple of punch from Blamethy does secure the fact that both these supports are out of the game. That's going to force RIT. They have to get out there as soon as possible. Unfortunately, they're not able to. Will they be able to cap? Absolutely not. Oh, absolutely. They're not going to be able to contest in time. And now again, 4.5 minutes on the clock here. This is a very similar game as RIT was playing earlier, almost to the time as well. I believe they also got to point to with about 4.5 minutes to go.
The collapse from Knoxville is just, it's so perfect. It's just absolutely, they find a target, they jump on it, and the fact that RIT is playing so grouped together, it just makes easy pickings for that kind of strategy. So the Blizzard comes through, trying to get people, but it doesn't matter. They're so mobile, they just play out of it, and then they just find these scattered members of RIT, take them down for an easy team kill. Now there's a ton of progress on the cart here with a ton of time in the time bank.
I mean, you really only have, you can maybe squeeze in 2 team fights here, but definitely one more is gonna be need to have right here. They have to take Tennessee out of this payload. They have to basically pretty much get a team kill, reset, let the cart go back a couple of meters, and then have a second team fight to secure this win with 3.5 minutes. That's a lot of time going on here. Oh, I understand. It happens.
He caught a glimpse of it. He heard the call out of the high noon, was like, where is it? Where is it? As soon as he found it, boom, headshot. And he was sent back to spawn. So it was a nice coordinated dive to start from Blemethy and Hydra on the Tracer, but then they weren't able to find anything after that, as the grouped upness of Rochester was able to win the day for him here. Wow, a late stagger onto Seb that could spell disaster for the side of RIT. Looks like they decide to back up with the speed of that Lucio. Okay, they're going to try to recontest once Seb gets back online.
Absolutely, and Blamethy gone once more, gone dusted with the quickness. That window is such a humongous tool here that they're able to use at this nice little corner here. Playing corners, playing those aerials, those sidelines are so underrated in my opinion. I'm glad that RIT is playing that corner so well to contest these guys even longer. I didn't even talk about the fact that Hinder is also like Doomfist's enemy.
Yeah, so I think that they switched off of the Mei, they put in the Sojourn, which I think Sojourn does a little bit more DPS in my opinion. Look, there it is, headshot right on the Hydra with that pulse rifle. So, and I understand the Casty pick now. They're trying to throw in that magnetic grenade to hinder the Doomfist's approach in general, and then they're going to try to pick him off from range. Here's the Deadeye now from Scorch on top of the cart. He tries to find the Doomfist, who does punch him, but he does able to find 2 at the end of it. I think that's going to be a reset here for Knoxville. No, Blemethy says, I'm still going for it. I want to find anything that I can. He can't. He goes back to spawn.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that maybe they thought that, okay, we punched Cass out of his Deadeye, we're safe to come out, and then Cass Deadeye was just fine. Unfortunately, he did get stunned out of it, so is what it is, ain't what it ain't. We have a lot of time still on the board, a minute and a half. In fact, is all we need, and we've seen this happen overtime regardless. So all we need is one really good push. Again, another team fight would be really phenomenal here, but Jesus, this dude is doing so well. Look at the picks here. Legacy booping Seb out of the way. Ryan gone and dusted the Soldier, and that was gonna be the better DPS pick here instead of the Mei. Gone. This is what they needed. Can they squeeze in one more team fight, Philly? Can they squeeze in one more team fight? I don't know.
Oh, the window. The Seb comes flying in, but he can't get there as the Doom punches him out. They're now contesting that with just 2 folks on the cart. The golden box of victory in the sight now for both sides. So they're trying to contest. Here comes in the rally from Legacy, trying to keep his team alive. He does now as Hydra gets a triple kill off the dash reset. Can he get one more? He's looking for Liam. He does find it. A quadruple kill. Just one remaining member. The Desperation Hammer comes flying in. Is that it? No, that was just a little bit of a lag spike coming through. And Genji, an absolute menace, just dashing around, flying through people, jumping around, and creating enough space to get it to the finish line. Wow, a wild performance from Hydra. He must be a Genji main. That was incredible to watch.
They made it. They made it with 30 extra seconds. Oh, this is going to be a tight game. This is going to be a tight game. Now,
Molly,
if we're starting... Yeah. No, go on.
Sorry. I gotta say, so Doomfist has the line flattened, right? Like, and so he absolutely flattened Liam on the high ground right here in this camera angle using the meteor strike. It was a head-on, like, absolutely smashed him, and it was just, it was so funny to see. And that really started off the fight there. That led to the victory for Knoxville, because once Liam was on the back end, he wasn't able to provide the healing. Everyone got scattered for the side of Rochester, and they couldn't really find the purchase and the stability again to contest the point. So a good opening first kill from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we go back to the very first round where Rochester was attacking to go to the point, the way they capped that so fast, and they're likely going to go the same route, seeing that we are saying with the Ryan and Lucio at the very least. They're probably going to go right around that little entrance, that little building on the side, and get to the point from the back end. And that kind of makes a lot of game plans not even fall apart. They kind of just get stutter a little bit, and they're not expecting that backline. They're always expecting for the front entrance to be where everyone comes in from. But look, we have a minute, less than a minute actually, and they need to rush in and get onto this point immediately.
Yeah, the name of the game is speed, so they're using the teleporter, using the Lucio speed boost to try to collapse on a member, but a nice disengage from all sides of Knoxville. They weren't able to collapse as nearly as well as Knoxville can, and they can't find a pick, so they're still looking for it now, and this is the time for them to get counter-attacked on, and there it is, led in by Diana.
Yeah, the supports were hiding in there for safe cover, and unfortunately, you know, our sim was just not really was not aware of their position right there, and it is unfortunate. But we are seeing Ryan just continue that contesting, just continue the tank battle here with with their Lucio. They still have a healer, and you don't. Unfortunately, that's Blamathy gone. Hydra following as well. And that might be all they need to contest even longer with literally 3 seconds to spare. I love that.
Wow, yeah, on the edge of my seat, biting my nails here to see who was going to come out on top in that duel in the room over there, and it looks like a nice victory there from Rochester. The point yet is not over. That's in overtime now. They cannot leave this cart for any reason whatsoever, or that overtime wick will go all the way down in an instant.
Yeah, usually here it's always one person on the payload at all times. Unfortunately, we did, you know, kind of go a little bit too not even go too far. You're playing Soldier. What am I talking about? You did the flank. You got the pick off. RIT is down 1 right now, and this sim with the extra turrets is gonna be such a humongous factor here. Oh, the pulse bomb is gonna be forcing out the beat drop and the window at the same time. 2 support ultimates are being used, which has to force the University of Tennessee to back up, like literally just back up everything. I love the aggression on Foliage, by the way, on the sim.
Yeah, and so that was a great counter out by Rescue Toast. He was able to slide on the building so that he didn't get hit by the meteor strike, which then allowed him to put the barrier down. So then they put the window to create some space and push Knoxville back so that they could get some purchase on the card. So a good layering of support ults there, and it had to be in order for them to make any progress with this payload.
Rufus trying his best to contest as long as possible on this payload. I mean, if you don't let them go as far as possible, it gets even easier and easier with you having 30 more seconds of them to actually get this payload. But the way the RT is playing right now, it was so good. Can they? Oh, the shatter! Stop it. The shatter was crazy. Right as Doom was nano too. Oh my goodness. It was a great shatter. Tennessee got it, but it was a great shatter.
Great shatter, but I think because Blemothy had died previously, he was running back into the fight, and as he was slamming in, he gets nanoed and is able to counter any of the aggression that RIT wanted to put forth after that shatter. So he was able to effectively counter that just by being a menace that he's been doing all game. So a great push with they had a minute. They were able to tap it and kind of push it through that choke point just a little bit. So I think that was a really good point push from Rochester here. Let's see how Tennessee responds. I think they're going to be running that Doomfist again. Speed is the name of the game. Uh-oh, Madi. Hydra is back on the Genji. You know he's going to be slicing, dicing, flying, shurikening everybody. It's going to be a wild ride. And yeah, I think they're going to cap this real quick.
I know that Nano has 3 really good people to give it to, especially that Soldier Visor or the Nano Blade, 2 very classic Nano targets, right? This could go sour for RIT so quickly if Genji is allowed to build up that ult charge quick enough. Like we saw last game, that quad kill was enough to, I think, jump Hydra from like 50 to ultimate, and just clear it out for his team. Now, this could, again, the Genji is going to be an imperative pick here. Unfortunately, you do have the Sim, which is one of the biggest counterplays to Genji, and how we're going to deal with that, I don't know. Oh, okay.
Blemothy getting really low there, just picked off, and he tries to get punched back to his team, but not quick enough, and he gets sent back to spawn. A nice collapse here, good aggression moving forward from RIT, trying to create more staggers, which would take more time off the clock, but they need to know when to retreat, and they're doing it now so that Reinhardt can maintain his shield. But they teleport quickly to the high ground now and do a nice rotation. Here comes Seb, flying in with that charge, laying in some of those fire strikes, trying to find some purchase, trying to find a pick to stabilize his team.
Even then, I think also the fact that we're able to kind of keep the DPSs and tanks so separate from your supports, it's working out even better than anticipated for RIT to keep this point in their favor, to keep them at this choke where they can't even get through the entrance. Like I said, Scorch getting the first pick here off of one of the supports. That's already 1 down. They gotta back up as fast as possible with the aggression that RT is showing right now. They want to win this. They want to contest even longer. They want to defend, and they only have 23 more seconds to do so.
Yeah, that was, wow, this is a massive stagger onto Ducksta. That's absolutely huge. I don't know if they'll be able to contest in 4 in time. That was what I like to see of RIT there is the decisiveness that they had. They found a target, they collapsed on them, and then they pushed forward and made some more decisions from there. So well done from them, and now they have to find one final defense, one final hold in order to win this point.
Alright, there's gonna be a whole lot of ultimates lining up right now. We have both of Sim, Wall, and Visor activated. And unfortunately, on the side of University of Tennessee, they have nothing to contest that. They don't have a sound barrier. They don't have a Kitsune rush. They don't have anything to contest 2 very oppressive ults, 1 very defensive and 1 very oppressive, and that allows RIT to take this almost easily.
Like that.
Okay, Blamothy.
Oh yeah, let's see which one is this going to be the counter for the Rhine. Oh no, this is when he's just pounding away people in this side right here. That we talked about. So well done from him. But in that last fight, Madi, they were able to layer the window behind the sim wall and then shoot the visor through it. So if anybody tried to come and contest the point, because they were playing those angles like you were talking about, anyone who was trying to come contest the point, they were immediately under fire from a window boosted visor, which means they're automatically going to hit. They're automatically going to hit a lot. So yeah, definitely a good way to layer those ultimates and prevent any incoming contest from the opposition. So a nice point there. We are knotted up, Madi, at 1-1.
I could see this going to game 5, to map 5. I could see it. The way that both these teams are playing so aggressively, and clearly, like, you know, one team is good on like defense, one team's good on offense, one team is like really good on control point. Like, they're so good at their different things that I feel like with each map we do have lining up, and the next, of course, being Sudavasa, I believe, Flashpoint, that is gonna be a battle. That is a very fast pace that you cannot play a slow paced character. You have to play people that have good movement. You have to play people that they can get to point A to point B to point C to point D to point F. They have to go everywhere. So it's gonna be a very fast paced game, and the way they both play, oh man, it might be over in like 5 minutes depending on how it goes on Flashpoint.
So you're absolutely right, Mai, but we're going to take a quick break before we get into that high-flying action of Flashpoint, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Season 5 of EGF's Overwatch League. I am HD Philly B. Alongside with me is the ever wonderful Madi, and we have the great matchup of the University of Tennessee Knoxville versus Rochester Institute of Technology. We are tied up at 1-1, and we are going to the high-flying action of Servasa. Madi, what are you excited to see here?
I'm really opting to see a lot of mobile units, a lot of mobile heroes. You know, on the tank side, you have a couple at your disposal. Mostly dive is going to be really like your goal here. And even if you don't play a very mobile hero, i.e. Orisa, for example, it's going to be your supports, especially that Lucio speed boost, that's going to be really carrying you from the very fast paced and fast changing points of point A, point B, point C, point D, point A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, you know, the DPS wise, anything really goes. I always see a lot of Reaper, a lot of Soldier, a lot of Cass and Ash, just because they have a long range and or they have some kind of way to get from point A to point B relatively quickly. And on supports, we can't play Ana and Zen on this map, please. We can't walk that fast. 130 meters, we don't like walking all that. So I'm liking seeing a Brig, a Lucio, Kiriko especially, the rare Moira if they want to go the weird pick. Like,
I'd love to see it.
I could see anything. Moira Fade is crazy on Saravasa. You know, so I can see a lot of fast-paced game plans. Maybe mostly Rush and Brawl will like really be useful here.
Yeah, and you know, I think that Rochester's going to stick with their similar composition. They're going to run the Reinhardt, the Bastion, Lucio, BAP. I think they're going to stick with that. A lot of Soldier we've been seeing in both of these previous matches. So I think, like you were mentioning, the Soldier is a great pick here. They can have a little good sight lines. They can maneuver themselves pretty quickly. So we are going to be hopping into the action now as the we're hopping back to us. Apologies. Good to see our beautiful faces once again. So yeah, Saravasa, a beautiful map. One of the new flashpoints game modes here on Overwatch 2. So like we were mentioning, Reaper, Soldier, going to be some of those high-flying DPS characters with some very impactful ultimates. But like you were mentioning, Ana, not so great on these points because you got to walk a lot. And we've seen from Knoxville, that's been kind of their bread and butter, right? Putting on the nano boost to either the Soldier or the Doomfist, whatever, to kind of make some space, get some kills out there, and get some points. So if they're not playing the Ana, I'm curious as to what they're going to do next because we haven't seen anything else from them so far.
If they are going to play the Ana, your Lucio just has to taxi you from spawn. And thankfully, Lucio being so fast can definitely go boom, bam, bop. I'm here. Come here, Ana. We're going. Like, I've had great Lucio do that with me, and I'm like, you are the best. But otherwise, I really do hope we are seeing Lucio, Brig, Moira, even Lifeweaver with that dash, and Petal, for example, do so well. And also gripping, if you do have like a slower ally, let's say you're playing like, not even Junkrat, that's a random thing I just had in my mind. Let's say you're saying Mei, and you're trying to get Mei over here. Pull Mei over, bring her to a team fight. You don't have to walk 100,000 meters, and that's honestly what I'm gonna be seeing from the support side. From the DPS side, like we already said, lots of Reaper, lots of Soldier, lots of Ash, you can go far. Mercy really could just go right over everything. Like, oh, flying? Yeah, we're fine. So on the tank side, again, DPS dives are likely what I am gonna want to see a lot here. Winston, D.Va, who else be diving? Winston, D.Va, I'm missing one of them. Doomfist, thank
Wrecking
you.
Ball, Wrecking Ball, man. I want to see Wrecking Ball.
Oh, please. I can see a Wrecking Ball, and he just puts Minefield. I'm like 90% certain if you put Minefield on like the control point or the control point, it just, the time goes to like 50 immediately. Because again, here on Flashpoint, the timer ticks like 1,000 times faster than it does on a regular control point. It's so crazy. Team fights go like this.
I would like to see the Wrecking Ball. That's on my bingo card for tonight, Madi. It's my inaugural cast here for EGF. And I like playing Wrecking Ball myself when I'm out there in the streets. So I definitely would enjoy seeing that. So it looks like we're going back into the action in just a second here on Servasa, our Flashpoint map. So between the University of Tennessee Knoxville and the Rochester Institute of Technology.
Oh, they're not ready yet. Okay.
Oh, okay, my bad.
They're
my
not
bad.
ready. They're not ready. Holy troll.
Hey, you know, Buddy, that was a great. That was a great send off for me. I nailed it perfectly.
It was so good, and then they trolled us. It's okay.
Uh,
Sometimes, honestly, I get it. Like, you have to think so much about what you want to run on this map. One, it's so, like, the mode is still, like, relatively new. It's been here for a whole season, you know, and even Overwatch League, they have to kind of play around with it so much. And that's like the, like, hey, you're over in Toronto. You played your game. Like, you're fine. Like, you got it. So it's still a matter of what do we play, what's the best course of action, what could possibly happen between this point and this point. And not to mention, like, you don't know where each point is going to go after the fact. You just have to rush over to the next point as soon as possible. And it could either be 50 meters from your spawn or 100 meters from your spawn or from where you are. It's a very hectic map or mode, I feel like.
For sure, for sure. I kind of like it. I don't want to say it's meta-less, but you know, a lot of teams can find their own way to find purchase on this map, right? Whether they're playing, you can play the Junker Queen, you can play the Orisa, you can play Doom, you can play Ryan, right? You can Diva, even we saw last map. So I like that there's a variety of different heroes that these teams can play. There's not just like a standard, like, okay, we always have to play this composition. So I'm very excited to see what the teams come out with. It looks like they're both posturing towards the Junker Queen, who I love very much. That can make giving everybody a little bit of extra speed boost toward the point.
One of my favorite things that my coach has told me about playing that Junker Queen and Lucio is Lucio's going to be your reactive and your Junker Queen is going to be your proactive speed boost. Because they both have speed boost capability, and I love the way he describes it because it's a matter of the fact that if you want to go in, oh, goodbye. If you want to go in as Junker Queen, you speed boost everyone in. Your Lucio always is the call that says, hey, we gotta go back, we gotta leave. And thankfully, I think, you know, Flashpoint objective is open right now. It's gonna be RIT mostly on the point, but it's blocking me back on DPS, playing that Genji, and getting some nice picks as well. So this is more of an even matchup right now.
I think Knoxville said they were done playing around. They want to get this W as the first win of the season, so they go back on their tried and true, role lock here, if you will, and then the characters that they enjoy. So Blemthy brandishing the blade, taking people down, sending them back to spawn, and it looks like Knoxville will capture the point and improve on percentage.
I'm also loving the compositions we do have here. They're very similar, where you kind of have that Lucio Junker Queen and oh my god, Genji. But with the Kiriko and Bat, they have the same idea of immortality. You have Suzu, which gives you immortality, or quote-unquote immortality, and then you have actual immortality field. So how they utilize it is going to be so incredible. Already, woo! We already have Rampage!
Rampage! Massive!
Rampage!
And Blemthy is able to follow up on that as everyone was kind of purpled and bled. And an easy fight win, very inexpensive on the side of Knoxville, as they just use that Rampage to just mow everybody down, slash them through, and take them down. So, yeah, really nice fight win there. In terms of what we were talking about, I think in terms of the DPS line, I like the Tracer more than I like the Soldier, because Tracer, who's countering the Tracer, right? Like, who's your anti-flanker, right? Tracer kind of is free range to just go into the back line, and they have the Pulse Bomb now. I'm looking to see who they're going to stick it to, and as I say that, Blemthy goes brandishing that blade again, taking a 2K down for his troubles. Let's see if he gets any more off of it.
He did get a lot of good picks here, and unfortunately that leaves RIT in a unfortunate 3v5 on the point. And again, you saw how fast these points just unlock. It's not the 1 point per second anymore. It's like, I think half a second or 0.75 of a second. It's super, super fast. So Hydra getting a pick right then and there. They're gonna be a little bit on top here, playing right in front of the point before it unlocks in about 20 seconds. And that's a really, really good pick to Ray get. Rescue Toast not able to get them in and out of the situation, is they're all got to rely solely on Seb's shout to either go in or have to retreat. Oop, window, you saw how fast Duxa got out of there?
Yeah, but Madi, I mean, they put down that window, but you can easily just retreat and go to the point, which is the objective, and cap it. Like, that window didn't really get too much value there. So I can see what they were trying to do to maybe get a quick pick through it, but to no avail. And then, easily Knoxville's able to cap this point. Now they're looking to re-engage now and send all these people back to spawn, get a quick fight win. You can see Blemthy slashing through people, trying to get that dash set. There's shurikens coming flying through. The deflect now, huge, which is causing Toast to put out the sound sound barrier, a huge ultimate, and now on the other side, Foliage brandishing his blade, trying to find the pick. He does. Legacy goes down to that sword, and let's see if he can get anything else off of it. He cannot. And another blade is blades are everywhere. It's a blade beret as Blemethy comes through, but Scorch takes him down with a nice headshot. But all this time, Madi, Knoxville's in control of the point.
I'm in utter shock. Before I even start speaking, that is a Soldier Visor activated and then dusted. I love the immediate response from Duxta. Use that rampage, make everyone start bleeding, have anti, and no one's able to even heal up Soldier while he's trying to get a nice, at least, a 3 kill, maybe a 4 kill possibly. But no, Scorch gets immediately shut down, and I don't even think we have time to contest any longer on our next point. So we're going over and moving on to the next control point, which is on literally like right in the middle, I believe, is where they're all going to. Yes, so it's all the way in the back, and you can already see, like I said, it's so random. It happens to be the fact that RIT is the closest to that point, so they're a little bit faster. There's a first rampage from RIT side, and unfortunately you have that Suzu at the disposal, and you're not going to get much value out of it for any longer than a second or two.
Yeah, I mean, basically no value there, Madi. That Suzu came in so quickly to cleanse all of that, and then bam, just tank diff right there. Duxta understanding this character just a little bit better. Those cooldowns coming off so nicely for him. And even though Rochester was kind of there first, we're not able to take the point. So well done from them. But yeah, I think. Look at this, Madi. A change now. Seb is moving over to the Orisa to try to counter this Dunkirk lead.
And honestly, I definitely understand why. At least Orisa, she has a Fortified, she has a Spin, she has Javelin. She lives really long. And look at this, the oppression of Orisa is so good. You have the entire all 5 players of this team all together. The Mei coming in to get some CC cooldowns going on there. But it's Blamethy again dominating on the Genji. Blade active once more, but I don't think we're going to be pulling in just for Lucio. Yeah, we're not. Great play from Blamethy all around.
Oh my gosh, that guy was moving so fast I could barely keep track, Madi. He was using every cooldown so effectively. Even against the Mei, he was like dashing around her, breaking out her out of ice block. Uh-oh, a sneaky rampage. It comes flying through, hits 3, and Liam doesn't even have a chance to survive. Immediately deleted. The Toasty tries to salvage something by putting down the sound barrier, but I think it's just a little bit too late. This fight is gonna definitely go in the way of Knoxville, and that's more percentage, and I think the map for them on this one.
Absolutely. That's a clean 3-0. No contest from RIT. That's another point on the board for UTK. Which was, like I said, Flashpoint is one of those modes where it can either go, 7 minutes or 5 minutes. And this was the 5 minutes. This was an insane rampage. Amazing reversal to the Soldier Visor.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely massive play from them. Seeing everybody on their tried and true roles, you really see the coordination that University of Tennessee has. So definitely a little bit of a class above there on that map. So the next one that we will be going to is our escort map in Circuit Royale. We know that this is a standard kind of poke composition, long range map. So we'll see what University of Tennessee comes out with in terms of, are they going to play double sniper? Or are they going to play Sigma? Are they going to try to troll again and do something different? Who's to say? But I would also like to see Rochester, now that they're not going to be on that comfort pick of the Reinhardt, Bastion, Lucio, just sort of like they were on Servasa. They couldn't play that, or they didn't choose to, and kind of got rolled over on it. So let's see with Circuit Royale, very niche map in terms of the characters that you get to play. So we'll see if they are still uncomfortable, if they can actually surprise us here and pull something out of their back pocket.
I mean, I'm not sure because of the fact that on both ends, we've definitely just been seeing lots of that rush and brawl during the Queen Rush comp and that brawl Ram, hello? Who? That brawl Ryan comp. Now, if we could see a Sigma, even like a little bit of Dive, the Diva, and how aggressive it can be with Diva and Dive in general, it could really go either way again on Circuit Royale. But like you said, and you're completely right, this is a very poke, long range, dominant map. If a lot of time we'll see Sigma, we'll see Zen, we'll see Widow, Hanzo, we will see the other supports can kind of go however they want, but you'll probably also be seeing an Ana. they could go the unnatural pick. They could go whoever they want. They can go Junkrat. They can go Far Mercy. They could go. They could go Ball. I would love, like you said, I would love to see a Ball. Just
Marty, for you, I hope they go Junkrat.
Just
It's like
for
the
fun.
third time I think you got Junkrat on the mind, man. Like,
not because I like Junkrat. It's because he bullies me. He is honestly in my mind 24/7. There is trauma there. But regardless, we're gonna be seeing what they're gonna be picking up before we start putting things down on the map here. I believe everyone's gonna be saying the same roles here. No switch or anything like that. Now look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The Zen and Bap is a really messed up support combo. We're seeing the Sigma from University of Tennessee, which I'm glad we're seeing. We're gonna be really dominating that open space. And then, like we said, regardless of what you think, both teams are gonna be playing double sniper, which is gonna be a sniper off. We have a sniper off.
let the Widow battle commence for sure. But if there's any indication of what we saw back on Ilios, I'm giving Blemethy the advantage here over Scorch. I thought we were going to have the Ram there, which, Madi, I thought you had jinxed into fruition, but looks like Seb is going to switch over to the tried and true Sigma, which is, classic on this map. So a very heavy backline focus from both squads here as they're mirroring each other in this matchup on Circuit Royale.
Yeah, we have a complete mirror match here, and the funny thing about Zen is, he's kind of a one-shot in his own right. If you get that fully charged volleyball on anybody, you are getting one-shot. Just like Blemethy got one-shot by Scorch right then and there. We know how good Blemethy is on that Widow, but I think Scorch just got the jump on him in that moment.
It peaked a little too long there, Blemethy, and he got punished for it. And from there, the dominoes fell, and a massive push coming out from the side of Rochester here. They're going to make great progress on this payload. I'm interested to see how Knoxville recontests this with such long-range heroes. Getting Zen back into position is really tough to do without him getting picked. Are they even going to be able to touch?
Oh, I love that Duxa is just took the initiative as a tank, knowing, alright, I can touch, I can, take care of the projectiles, I can take care of the arrows, I can take care of the Widow bullets, and just push right through. Very similar to what we saw in our first series, correct? I'm loving that initiative taken from Duxa, not being, a lot of times tanks get a little bit scared.
I didn't even see that!
How did he see that? How see that? This is why I be dying. That was Blemethy saying it's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, fool me once, shame on you, right? So I think Blemethy is definitely going to be more aggressive, if you will, and try to find these sniper shots. A nice catapult up there, trying to find another, doesn't find anything there. But I do like this. Oh, what on the tank? Wow, the Discord must have done a massive amount of damage to send Seb back to spawn. Rochester's gonna have to do a full reset. They can't do anything without this tank.
Another win. That's 2-1 Blemethy Scorch, by the way. I'm keeping track. I love mirror matches. I love dittos. I think they're so goofy and they're so fun. Now, the aggression that we just heard from RIT is unfortunately not able to reproduce. It's basically a matter of, we can't really go in because of how dominant Blemethy is on that Widow, which we saw earlier before. 3-1.
3-1 now, Marty. 3-1.
I love it. We might have to be going a different, because at this point, if I was on DPS, I would go Sombra and be mean. But this is a team game.
You have to. This is called out. He spotted. Yeah. Yep. Nothing doing there. And even Hydra now getting on the board against his counterpart, finding the pick on Foliage. How is Rochester going to contest this? Here comes the wall hacks now. This is going to make Blemethy even more deadly.
Yeah, anything could really happen here. And unfortunately, again, just like we heard from the announcer, we have 60 seconds to go to contest to get this even remotely close to point 2. We did get it pretty close at the very least, and I think they can definitely do it again. There's 2 Dragon Strikes, look, beautiful direction there, but forcing the trans out, that's 1 support ult gone and dusted. We still have 5 ults on the back end on both teams, or between both teams. There's 5 available. 4 now with the Flux, unfortunately missing the target audience, but forcing that space that tanks love to do, they have to do. Oh, this might be cap. Wait, they're gonna cap here. They have no one to contest. It's just Hydra on the Hanzo.
Yeah, the space was created. Though the Flux did not get anybody in it, it was enough to scatter the team away from the shields, away from the tank, and the snipers were able to do their due diligence and find some picks off the back of it. So, yeah, well done there. And then obviously Liam coming in with the Transcendence just kind of to shore everything up, make sure there was no counter push coming from the side of Knoxville. So let's see now, they're aggressing even higher, trying to find any stragglers, and they're Scorch, finding Legacy on the back end. Knoxville's going to have to be pushed even further back.
Yeah, and while we are seeing that, you know, Tennessee can't even leave their building entrance right here, the car is still being pushed. We are seeing it slowly but surely move up that long old hill, but it's that Flux from Duxter that's going to be securing a push from the team. And speaking of pushing, we have the Zen kicks bullying the tank. Get him off of me! Get him off of me! But thankfully, with the assist, with the Immortality Field, we saved the day. And kind of all we have to do is just hold this high ground, which I think Sig and this comp honestly can do incredibly well.
You know, I love to say that I'm a Zen player myself, right? And having that kick being added to the game just made it so much better. I love being able to just kick people away from me. It's fantastic. So I'm sure you enjoyed that too. I got to give props to our producer Blizzard on that shot of the double dragon strike on point 1. That was a great angle that you posted for us there. So thank you for that. All right, now they're going to try to aggress up this hill, trying to find more purchase on the cart. How are they going to break through this defense? And it's an opening pick from Foliage onto Blemethy that will do the trick.
Alright, having used his select, the Celebration is going to be able to contest that, and Seb goes down for the count. One Dragon Strike takes out Legacy, but at the same time, it's gonna be it's honestly, it's pretty even here. We had a 3v3 going on with picks going on here and there. Both supports still alive, fighting for their lives, but Zen is not gonna be able to keep up the healing by himself when you're getting gained up on, and that was really funny. I love that. I love how Legacy is just like, I mean, I'm sorry, not Legacy. Liam is like, I made it by myself, but I will continue to kick. It's the honor of it all.
I think Foliage got a double kill on the Blemethy. Like, the dragon killed him, and then Blemethy went back to spawn, and as he came out of spawn, the dragon hit him again. Because it goes on forever. So that was a very interesting little piece of ability. Okay, the Gravitic Flux comes in, brings him up, slams him down, doesn't find a pick on it as the Transcendence from Liam comes through to save the day.
Another Dragon Strike coming in. Liam down for the count once more. Unfortunately, was not able to move out fast enough, and this should be securing the game right here. Now that we have all this space, we see that Duxa is going straight in and enforcing that no one can go past this point. Gandalf, we are not going past this point. Like, you cannot pass here. do not pass gold. Not to 200. I'm sorry. We got the point. We're good.
So it just looked like Rochester ran out of steam there, right? They didn't know how they were going to kind of climb this hill against this onslaught of sniper shots. I have to give a ton of credit to Hydra because he was holding down the fort. Blemethy was getting picked off here and there, and Hydra was just coming in with the kills. He's like, all right, fine. If Blemethy goes down, he's creating space for me to find the picks need to secure this and stabilize for my team. So a massive amount of eliminations coming through from that player there to really hold this point. So not a far distance now for Knoxville to go. Oh, are they posturing for the Junkrat? Is Hydra going to play Junkrat? Please, play Junkrat.
I doubt it. It'd be really funny. It'd be really funny, because I was mostly memeing. Like, if I saw a Junkrat, I'd be like, okay, you're cooking something that I don't know you're going to cook. Like, you have oil, I have butter. I don't know what's going on here. But, listen. He's not going to say Junkrat. I don't know why I'm getting excited. But we are going to, on the other side of things, RIT is going to be saying the same double sniper long range comp going on here. And why not? It works so well. And you might as well. If they could do it on the University of Tennessee side, they can definitely do it back to them. Now, we are not seeing a last minute assist from Hydra. Hydra, what are we cooking? What are we cooking? What are we cooking?
My gosh.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What are we cooking? What are we cooking? Blizzard, please stay on this, man. I need to know what we are thinking. We're gonna blow the Widow. I need it. I need it. We're ready. We're so ready. Oh,
we're sliding in.
The rollout. Yes. Yeah. Yup. Winnable. We're fine.
Winnable. Can he survive? Can he survive?
Yeah, he's fine.
That Zen orb is massive to keep him up on that flank. Oh. Honestly, I expect nothing less. Like, that's what Junkrat does. Like, he's just a maniac. He's just a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely chaotic man out there. Created so much space for his team. Easy fight win as they just dislodged the members of Rochester from that bridge on that high ground. So huge push from them.
I don't care what happens here on out. My MVP of the night is Hydra. Straight up. My goat for going Junkrat. Now, with all that space being created, first of all, now that Sigma doesn't have to do all the work for himself now. Junkrat just made all that space happen. Scorch and Foliage might have to be a little bit weary here because of the fact... Oh, my fault. Foliage gained the pick off of Hydra, shutting that down immediately, but thankfully it's going to be the fact that we are capping. We made space. No one contested fast enough. No one had the time to contest fast enough.
Dang, nobody left alive on the side of Rochester. Everybody hunted down member by member. Madi, on that play, Hydra just jumping in as Junkrat, just causing chaos. Hey, look at me. I'm going to do massive amounts of damage to you. And everyone turns to look at him. And as their backs are turned, pop, pop, pop. They're just mowed down by Blemethy and Legacy in the back line, just killing people left and right. So, great distraction play from Hydra. Once again, the wall hacks coming through. A sneaky flank coming in from Duxton, just slamming people into the ground. There goes Foley. Can he find anybody else? He is all low. So the lamp does come through to keep him alive just for an instant, but he does get taken down. But finds two first trouble. The car keeps pushing towards that golden box of victory. The window comes through. Window shot through it, killing everybody. Dude, GG's in chat. Crazy win. Crazy.
Bruh. I was about to say flanking Sig isn't real, he can't hurt you. But I think this is the flanking Sig in question. That has to be. Because that was amazing. Yeah, flanking Sig isn't real, he can't hurt you. That was so good. From everyone all around. Really good push on both ends, but it was a matter of... I don't care what anyone says. The Junkrat was the pick there. It was the game changer. Everyone thinking double sniper, and I was playing 4D chess. I was like, we're gonna go Junkrat. We're gonna go Junkrat because Junkrat does a lot of damage. You have Zen Orb that at least stays on you for at least 3 seconds behind walls. So even take a little bit of damage, it'll come back in a couple of seconds. Like we were cooking, and like we said. Great job, just great job all around to both teams. It is gonna be University of Tennessee Knoxville taking it 3-1 over RIT Rochester Institute of Technology in a very good amount of games. Very good games.
Yeah, Madi, I gotta say, one thing with that Junkrat pick is that the Sigma shield doesn't have a lot of health, right? So it's like, if you can whittle that down quickly with a couple Junkrat grenades, right, and then a few volleys from Zen, all right, Sigma's down one resource, and that takes a little bit of a while to get back up. So I think that was just another way to cook up something different in terms of making space, getting the tank off of their rhythm, right? Because Sigma has a very unique, very simple rhythm shield, rock, right? Like that kind of thing. So Junkrat disrupting that rhythm, creating a ton of space and allowing them to cap that point pretty easily. So once again, very convincing win. I would love to see University of Tennessee Knoxville go up against Arlington or even Bowling Green, right? Those are going to be massive matchups. So folks, if you see that on the EGF calendar on that website, circle that, mark that, put that anywhere you can, sticky notes everywhere on your computer, because those are going to be matchups you are going to want to see. All right, so Madi, we are going to continue our coverage here. I think we have one more game for you all, which is absolutely immaculate because that just got me so hyped. I'm ready to do another one. So thank you so much for joining us on this cast of University of Tennessee Knoxville winning 3-1 against Rochester Institute of Technology. We're going to go to a quick break as we prepare for our next match. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope we had a little good break, a little water break, a little bathroom break. We're back for the last match of the night over here on EGFC, official Overwatch on Twitch. Please, oh, by the way, please follow Twitch. Please follow. Please, it's really good for us. We are in season 5. This is our last match of the day. As I said before, it is Marquette, as you can see in the bottom, Marquette University versus the University of Hawaii. It is the Golden Eagles versus the Rainbow Warriors. So we just had a really hype set, like a hype series last game, right? So this should honestly go the same way. Hopefully it goes, to the wire, go overtime. We go, instead of 3-3, it's 4-2. Like, a lot of things can happen here. All right, so hopefully we are still here. I am Aneva, and I am again joined by the amazing, talented Philly. So, Philly, what we thinking today? What we thinking?
All right, Marty. Well, my bingo card is not yet complete. I would like to see Wrecking Ball at some point today. I want somebody to bring it out, like in true fashion, not as like a desperation pick to get back to the point. I want a tried and true Wrecking Ball composition. So that's still on my bingo card. We had the Junkrat last map, so that was checked off. We had the double boop. So that was checked off. So I'm looking forward to that. Once again, this is the first week of season 5 for EGFC Overwatch 2. So all these teams, they've been preparing for the month of September, getting compositions together, teams together, doing tryouts, things of that nature. So this is their time to show us what they've been working on, show us what they got. So our wonderful producer Blizzard just put up on the screen our map pool for this evening. So this has been what everybody is going to be working with in week 1. So we have Ilios Control to start. From what I'm understanding, the teams are still putting together their lobby. Should just be a few more minutes. But like we know, Control going to be wild, going to be crazy. Madi, you think they're going to be rolling out Doomfist here? What do you think?
I mean, with the consistency we've been seeing in our last 2 series, correct? I believe we should be seeing kind of the same high speed movement, like a lot of boops. That could be the Brig, that could be Doom, that could be Ryan Pin, that could be Lucio boops. It could be a lot of things happening here because of how much space you have. It's funny, you have a lot of space outside of the actual map. You have the well, you have the sea as well. So a lot of things can happen on Ilios. We also saw like some Orisa picks. We did see a Doom at some point. We did see Ryan a lot. So we do have a couple of really good matches here, or I'm sorry, really good heroes here that should dominate on Ilios. And I think also the really nice thing about Ilios is that even though each map is, usually tailored to a certain comp, a certain playstyle, you can play a lot of different heroes here. I for one, I would play for support on the other 2, but when I have the well, I typically go Life Weaver solely because if you fall in it, I can pull you back out. So the flexibility here is honestly, it's thousands of possibilities you can really go with.
Something that we didn't see last match was Zarya, right? Zarya's supposed to, she got a couple of buffs with the different bubbles, right? The projected bubble is bigger now to get, protect your teammates a little bit better, things of that nature. And we didn't see that at all from either team. So maybe that's just a comfortability thing that they just didn't like. Or if there's just, maybe they're like, man, maybe she's actually not as good as most people are saying that she is. So interesting on that note, because we did see a good amount in our first match of the day. So curious to see if either of these teams bring out the Zarya. I do love the Zarya. So can laser people down with that hyper beam. So would be curious to see there.
I am also a huge Zarya fan. When I am done being bullied on support, I will go tank, I will go Zarya, and I will grab a Mercy. I will grab one person just to mess up their day. I want you to understand is my goal as Zarya. So I'm also a really big fan of playing with Zarya's. I think she's also a really strong pick regardless. Even if like a lot of people say, oh, Winston is typically like her biggest, or any big shield, Ryan, Winston, for example, a little bit of Ramattra as well, are kind of her biggest counter picks. And something she struggles against a lot. I still think she's so fun to play. She's so survivable. And if you have a really good support backline, you have Ana, Kiriko, Lifeweaver, Mercy, like a lot of things really do work out for Zarya. But I was talking about Zarya. Wait. Your bingo card might be filled out right now. I think we have a ball. And I think ball works wonderfully on Ilios.
Madi, I'm floored. This is amazing. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. Please roll out on this ball. Please.
We're rolling out.
The doors are open. Yes.
Yes. Oh, we speeded. And we got the honeycomb skin. I love you. So
Ooh.
like you were hoping for, we are seeing the ball coming, and we're going for the ball flank, and I love that. We're gonna be bullying with that back line, just kind of poking here and there, getting some good boops in, as well as the fact that, you know, you're playing Sigma on the other side of the team. You can't really chase. No one on this team can really chase ball. And look, we already see that Stomps is getting that fence out of the way for some sneaky kills. Unfortunately, the Bastion with the high artillery power is gonna be taking care of Stomps with the quickness, but that does not mean that it's ground zero for Marquette quite yet.
Yeah, so I do like the ball pick, but it's going to have to be well coordinated, right? So if the ball creates space, the other 4 members of the team are going to need to find somebody and collapse on them. It doesn't necessarily need to be somebody that has the most, you know, health missing or anything like that. It just needs to be somebody that's separated, somebody that's not as close to the rest of the group as they should be, right? And so they're going to have to really be wary of what target that is, and they need to collapse quickly, right? Because they have the Mercy. They are trying to put in that damage boost. Well, all right, I said all that analysis, and they switch over to the Sigma. They're going to mirror this tank line here moving forward for this next push.
Not even just a tank switch, but also the DPS and the BAP switch as well. We're going Bastion for that high damage output, which you can already see is gonna be you as Sigma. You have to be so cautious of when that suck is gonna be available to you, because if you don't have your pull, you are so susceptible to just evaporating to Bastion very quickly. There's the turret form right then, and they're going to go 1v1 with that Bastion on the other side of the screen. Force out the pull. Has to use artillery cannon already, going for the other Bastion as well. And can we get out of there? Unfortunately, no. Akame getting 2 beautiful picks, an Echo and the other Bastion.
But yeah, that artillery strike it seemed to come out of nowhere. He improved that ultimate very, very quickly. It was able to layer it down to great effect. So, you know, the one thing with Bastion is, like, if the other team has Bastion, you kind of have to play it like against it, right? Because otherwise your DPS is going to be lacking. So he's kind of like, you know, twisted your arm. You're like, all right, fine, I guess I'll play Bastion. So Marquette, even though they roll it out on the ball, they had to switch over to the Bastion in order to counter it. But, you know, maybe a little too late now as it's getting into final fight territory here as he comes flying in on the duplicate.
Alright, duplicate, that means there's 2 Bastions on the board right here. It's kind of scary. That's a high amount of damage output, and there we go. Like, the duplicate has been gone. We are getting the Echo double kill. Boom, Say, and Zippy saying, alright, GG's. We're good to go. We're still all fighting on the point, however. That's a tank v tank situation. How that missed? First of all, that's a big old rock. But we are forcing this tank away from us, and we're going to be securing the first point in favor of University of Hawaii, which is a beautiful, beautiful start to our first couple of games here.
Yeah, that was a nice little sidestep there from Stomp of Marquette. But, you know, the point of the tank is to create space, and that's exactly what Math did. He created space, pushed him off the point so he couldn't contest, couldn't even get the overtime wick burning, and they were able to take that point pretty easily. So looking to see this time Marquette probably going to roll out with the Sigma first, which will probably give them better purchase to kind of deal with whatever Hawaii rolls out with. But looks like Math going over to the Doomfist, which I like to see, because there are a lot of like high ground, low ground areas here, and if you can just jump past the Sigma, then you're going to have a lot of opportunity to hit that back line. So with that, Stomp decides to change over to the Diva to also play a little bit of dive here. Every time I'm saying something, they're making me eat my words. Madi, take it away.
They're making a lot of hero changes here, but we did see the Sim TP for the rest of the team on University of Hawaii, and then Say immediately goes for the Tracer, a very common tactic used, especially on control point. It gets to the point even faster. Now, it's going to be Zippy on the Widow here, and you're already seeing that maybe a bit lost here. Where's that Tracer coming from? Why is that Tracer bullying me? Why can't I play the game, right? But that's your job as Tracer regardless. So that means that even though Zippy's not gone for a count yet, you're kind of down one in that regard, because their attention is not on the enemy team getting those nice clean headshots. It's the fact that, where's this Tracer? Why are they bullying me? I'm scared.
And so that the Tracer is effectively, like what you're mentioning, neutralizing the sniper here. But the big thing for me was that Stomp just dove in kind of by himself. He got out of sight line. The Mercy's obviously not going to be connected to him. And he just immediately got knocked out of mech. And of course, you just let the Pilot Diva run around. So looks like Stomp is changing over here to the Junker Queen. He needs to find, or they need to find, a comfort pick that works for them. And then the rest of the team needs to build around that. So let's see how the Junker Queen faces up against this Doomfist here in this upcoming battle.
Oh, that could have been really precarious there. Had that one not been there, that would have been a very easy kill for Math Dealer on Stomps. But we do see that the Doomfist ultimate is ready to be used, and like you said earlier, Doom with 5 people all in a row. Oh, we love to see it. Now we're gonna be going over on to
Smushed.
Reach, and you have been, yes, squished, evaporated. We're chasing the Mercy. The res does come off though. Val providing an extra amount of leverage on that res.
Yeah, I thought the Seismic Slam was going to actually pull the Mercy in, but it looks like it was just out of range there. And so let's see if Marquette is able to take the point. They're doing their darndest. They're trying their best. Oh, the Sound Barrier comes in from the Lucio to keep everybody topped up as they're now 4v5, right? But the Pulse Bomb from Say does take out Royal Ranger in the back line, so that's a bulk of the healing down from them. They need to get Mickey out from the skies. It looks like they're trying to focus her. As she's jumping around in the skies, she takes over to the side there. Oh, but all that chaos is happening. Reach for help. Gets a 2K, a 3K here as the Overclock comes flying in. He's nailing some heads, and they're able to retake the point with a solid team kill on the side of Marquette.
I love that overclock moment right there. I mean, you just saw it was honestly looking like University of Hawaii was going to be continuing to take this point out. They were gonna, reset the situation, get a team kill, and force another team fight for Marquette to even contest. But that overclock was what we needed in that moment. Now Rampage is on deck here, and yes, we're gonna be using it, gaining a lot of bleed pressure, but no healing, no self-sustain is not gonna be saving you from an overclock. And even though you made an overclock, that pulse bomb is not going to be doing you any favors if you're going and falling down to it. Mickey able to get the res off as well, making this a complete reset without having to really reset at spawn.
Mercy diff, Madi. Mercy diff. This Mercy has not died in that previous engagement with the Overclock. Mercy was the one that stayed alive, was able to allow Reach to re-engage with the Overclock and take people down. That time, the Rampage came through as a disengaged tool, really. Got mowed down at the back of it, but then rezzed back up and then was able to go back into the fight. So Mercy needs to be the primary target here for University of Hawaii. They need to find a way to take her out of the skies.
Absolutely, and I 110% agree with you. Missing the knife again, some nice shots on Doomfist here. Forcing out the Suzu. You had no Suzu, but you also had no Tracer. No one to really distract anyone's attention, so now all the attention is on this team fight. 4v5 situation right here, right now. Any ultimates? Well, the Valk is being used to help sustain their team even longer. And it's going to be useful? Yes, it is, because we get the res off on our soldier who has been doing a lot of strides, a lot of big strides. We're moving around the point. Are we going to be able to contest it, though? Because look, there are email percentages here, and no one's able to really contest Marquette on this point. No one's able to secure it back in their spot. They might be able to cap before our next team fight unless we get something going on here. Maybe a Math Healer come to point. Yes, absolutely. And get Sound Barrier to boot. We got contesting, though. You can't get out the point at this point.
Yeah, absolutely, like massive chaotic fights going around for East Side. I think the dominoes are finally falling. House of Cards finally collapsing here for Marquette as the ultimates compiling from the side of University of Hawaii in order to take the point there. But in that last engagement before that one we just saw, Math Dealer flung himself off the side. I think it was a misclicked rocket punch that kind of just went awry. Will anybody be able to touch? Zippy tried to get there, but was found out. I don't think anyone will be able to touch in time. University of Hawaii, in a miraculous flip, clutches the point and wins this map on Ilios. What?
I just want to give a quick shout out to River God on Kiriko. They're in the kill cam, we are in the kill feed. We haven't really touched on it because of all the mayhem going on, but they were the ones consistently taking care of the Tracer multiple times. And with that kunai from Kiriko being, oh my god, where were we hiding? I love panic bastions, like when they had to go to the artillery front, like, I gotta go terraform, you found me. But again, huge shout outs to the Kiriko. I mean, all the Tracer, just cleaning up the Tracer act, because Tracer was a little bit of a menace, doing a lot of work where you are the distraction, in team fights. Oh, Tracer's over here, we gotta go over here, and then it's like, oh, Dragon Queen's incoming, she's gonna come kill me. Oh my gosh. So shout out to Kiriko for staying on top of that and getting rid of Tracer and cleaning up the Mercy at the very end before they could even touch. Great stuff on the support end as well of University of Hawaii.
Yeah, and Mickey on the other end for Marquette, really keeping their team alive, getting I think 3 or 4 reses in that entire map, right? And on just one map, they got 4 reses off. I think that's like basically as soon as off cooldown, they were using it again to great effect. So really turning the tides that ability can do. So in the end, that final battle, it was just a press Q to win on the side of Hawaii. They had the the Kitsune Rush come in. The Sound Barrier came in for extra defense there, and with that attack speed and ability cooldown reduction from the Rush, they were able to just clean up pretty quickly as Doomfist was flying around, punching everybody into every wall that he could find. So a nice first map, very chaotic, very well done from both sides. So the next map we were going to is our favorite here, Madi, in Kings Row.
And I think so far Kings Row has just been the most I guess tied game of the day. You know, a lot of teams typically do go 0.3. They do go to the extra round for the objective and stuff like that. I think it's because it's just everyone's favorite map. It's such a good map, and everyone wants to play on it as long as possible. And that has to be the explanation at this point. We all want to play on it for at least 20 more minutes, so why not just go cap at third point and keep playing, you know? But in all seriousness, the things we've been seeing on Kings Row has been, you know, not really what we've been expecting. We haven't really seen a dominant well, we did see a little bit later, or a little bit earlier, but recently we didn't see like a dominant Widow. We were seeing a lot of like speed boost Rhine around the corner. We were seeing a lot of the dive with like a Doomfist. A lot of really fun comps you can really play around with on Kings Row was what we were seeing basically.
And you know, on that last point, Ruins, especially, you'd like to see some long range folks like the snipers and things of that nature. And so I know Zippy was on the Widow for just a hot second. I wonder if they will bring the Widow back out here on Kings Row, pardon me. So interesting to see what kind of formations they do, because you know, Control doesn't always give you the full indication of what teams will bring out, just because it is so chaotic. It's very, you know, brawly, trying to just get as many eliminations as you can in a short amount of time. So but with, like, you know, escort, hybrid, things of that nature, there's some more strategy in terms of how you're playing defense and how you're playing offense. Madi, I'm getting a Junkrat single. I'm getting a Junkrat.
My Junkrat senses are tingling. Now we do have a couple of swaps I do want to mention really fast. So Stomps and Mickey are gonna be sitting out on this round. Axehand and Hattie. Axehand's a really cool name, by the way. Axehand and Hattie are gonna be in. Hattie on the Ana and Axehand so far on the Mei. Now look at that Zarya into the last minute switch into the Junkrat Queen, which is. That's one of my favorite brawls, by the way. Junkrat Queen and Zarya just going head to head. Oh, two queens going back at it, back and forth.
Honestly, I do like the Junkrat rather against the Zarya, because you can pop that bubble very, very quickly. And yes, it does give the Zarya a charge, but if you can then just take her down that much faster and focus fire her, then she doesn't have any chance to utilize that charge. So once again, say on the flank here, taking down that Bastion, a good portion of that damage, just using this little house to great effect here. Oh, he does get taken down in the back end. Looks like it'll be a reset here for Hawaii.
Yes, absolutely. I was actually gonna mention the same thing. Junkrat just feeds Zarya so well. She can, you know, as Zarya, you can stay charged to between 80 and 100% really consistently in a comp that has a Junkrat. But the way the Junkrat is playing isn't really super keen on focusing Zarya, thankfully. And they had just been kind of going to the back end, trying to bully the Ana and the BAP right now. But at the same time, the way that University of Hawaii is playing, with Junkrat dealing with the back line, dealing and bullying them, the tire rate active. Oh, you're dead. I'm so sorry. I felt that. I'm so sorry. They are down 2. They're down 4. That's it. It's just Ana, and she's gone, like the wind. Into a reset.
The tire is an absolutely massive ultimate. It is a tide turn. I can't tell you how many times I've played a game where I thought I've won, and if a Junkrat just comes out, what is he cooking? What's he cooking here, buddy? He's in the map.
Wait, he's crawling. Oh, 2-shotted, gone. The 250 health does not help here, May. I'm sorry.
Oh, not even a chance to ice block there. Absolutely deleted. It is Axehand on the side of Marquette. Wow, more space created though, as the cart is moving forward for the side of Hawaii now. Nice work.
Oh, what's he cooking? No one's coming to deal with this Junkrat up here, knowing that they just got a really good pick.
What? No one called it out, so like, hey, he's probably still in here. What? Flanked,
oh, Bob's
flanked,
out.
one shot. Where did the Bob get launched? Where did the Bob even go? Where is Bob? Bobber?
Bob gotta do something. We are getting the grab at least. We're gonna be cleaning it up real fast. Zara is at the low health, and oh my god, just a diamond to the face.
She went launched, dude. She got flung. Oh my goodness gracious. Even the nano boost was invested there onto the Zarya to keep her alive, give her that extra bit of damage, but to no effect. Hawaii is still pushing the payload.
Unfortunate but true. Yes, Hawaii is playing a Junkrat. What are you cooking? I love these like just pauses where Junkrat's just like crouching and going somewhere and waiting for that perfect opportunity to be a menace. I love it. I actually live for these moments. But the humongous blizzard for Axan to show right here, and that's gonna be taking away their Lucio, but with no other support to help you out there, not gonna be working out very well. No follow through with the blizzard whatsoever, and it's gonna be another easy, quick cap for University of Hawaii. They can take it to point 3. I'm telling you, everyone wants to play on King's Row forever. 4 minutes on the clock is ridiculous.
So in that last engagement with the Blizzard, the Lucio did sacrifice his life, but was able to speed boost everybody away from that, right? So they didn't get caught in it, and from there, they were able to re-engage and then take the members down one by one on the side of Marquette. So a really nice disengage there. Here comes the artillery strike, though, from the Bastion of Zippy. Gets some folks low, but not enough to take anybody down. The cart keeps pushing.
Alright, finally, the first pick of the day. Say down, finally. That's most of the artillery of this team gone. That allows Reach to be, look how how far forward he is. Popping out with the Nemesis form, right, and going in, getting all that block damage, and making sure they cannot overtake this space once more. Playing around this corner is imperative here.
I mean, was Ram on your bingo card? I know you were trying to call him out earlier in the previous cast, so good to see him coming through. All right, here comes the window now on the side of Marquette, launching some grenades through that. The Bob as well, but Bob immediately deleted. Oh my goodness, see you later, friend. And the big shots coming through, but Hattie is taken down by the Ash on the other side, and then a huge triple coalescence coming through from River God. Once again, a lethal support, as you were mentioning, Madi, and he's basically allowing the point to be pushed forward.
I'm just gonna say, poor Bob got bullied. I just want to tell you that he got anti and slept. I really can't help you there, buddy. So another Rip Tower is gonna be huge here. Might be saving it for the very last second where they're going way forward towards point. And Zippy getting a really big pick here. Hattie as well, taking out Lucio's legs. I think our Junkrat has to disengage here, has to regroup back to their team. You can't win a fight like this with a staggered team, with a Rip Tire. It's best to just save it, reset, and try again. Oh wait, we are in the back. Oh, we have 2 Junkrats today.
Yeah, Axan has switched over to the Junkrat. So that was in the previous engagement, yeah, and they have Rip Tire as well, and they're trying to be sneaky now. Okay. Are they found out? They've been found out. Oh,
not so out of course. No! It happens to the best of us.
You hate to see it. All right, the Ram going in with the Annihilation, trying to do something, but the sound barrier from Banana Llama, Banana Pajama? I can't see it, but anyway, the tire comes in from Say, gets 2, and now counter from Axan trying to find something, doesn't find anything, and I think he explodes a little bit too early.
Oh, too early, there's too much going on here. I'm so stressed out. I'm so stressed out. That's gonna be Cap. No one's gonna contest in time. Not even Diva, no. Simply not fast enough even with her blasters. Diva was not able to contest. Reach was not able to get there in time to prevent this from going to a 3-point situation with 2 minutes on the clock. That means that they basically have to get the 3 points, and they have to have at least a couple seconds on the clock to get that extra minute, right? So anything could really happen here. I'm loving Say on the Junkrat. This Junkrat has been a menace. This Junkrat has been walking around, crouching around, may I add, around the map, just popping people. And I love it. And I need you to keep doing that. It actually forced Axhan's hand to go Junkrat. But unfortunately, the tire was going to be such an imperative usage in that last team fight. And unfortunately, just pulled the trigger a little bit too early. Got a little too excited for at least a double kill.
Yeah, I mean, so the tire, you can hear it. It's very loud in game. So I think they knew where it was coming from, and they were focusing it down. So he had to release the trigger and see if he could get something out of it. It was a hero play, desperation play, if anything, to try to thwart some of the power coming through from the University of Hawaii. But unfortunately, to no avail here. So the sides have flipped. Hawaii will now be on the attack, and Marquette will now be on the defense. I will say that the Ash player for Hawaii has really impressed me. A lot of things. Say another sneaky. No way he gets a pick here. No way.
No way.
He just jumps right
No.
in. He almost got the May again. He almost got the May.
Ice Block came out as fast as possible. I was half expecting a concussion mine trap, but we love it. I like how bold Say is on the Junkrat as well, and also playing this position specifically, where you have that counter as a way to like regain control. You have a health pack to self-sustain yourself, and you put the junk trap there to make sure that anyone else does not come and contest you, and you're still blowing the backline. You still have that health pack. No one else is contesting this Junkrat whatsoever. He's getting extra damage here and there, but it's gonna be Matt falling as well. We do have a couple of switches here. We do have the Life Weaver as the Life Weaver pick, just to hopefully just maybe use pull, use that beautiful ultimate as well for overhealth and healing over time. But it might be a really nice quick opportunity for Marquette to cap point. Junkrat's still alive. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Dying Embers here, the struggling members of University Y trying to do anything that they can to prevent this cap from coming through. But yeah, I mean, say he was they were on the side there, laying in a little bit of damage, but not really getting anything done. And with that, the Junker Queen is actually the amazing pick here. They're just able to bully their way through, just kind of push, right? Junk Queen's like, I'm an axe, you're gonna be like, I'm scared of that, and May will just come in, slow you up just enough for you to get hit by it, do a ton of damage, and then they just focus them down. So I think the Junker Queen, a really good pick here against the Doom, kind of just force your way past the Doom. Say, I'm not even worried about you. I'm gonna take out your backline instead. So Zippy here on a nice flank. Let's see if he can find some purchase and get some value.
I think Widow has been spotted by the Doomfist. Yep, getting some a little bit of damage in there, but at the moment you have to focus on the people actually pushing the payload. As you can see, while we were talking, they have 4.5 minutes on the clock, and that payload's already halfway through point 1 or point 2 technically. Say getting the pick that we were thinking about earlier with that nice tire as well to boot, but Say gone and dusted, getting caught by the trap from Axehand. But we have a Blizzard. We can save that Blizzard for the rest of the team here. The Mad Dealer is going to be coming back as soon as possible, but all you have here are the rest of your DPSs and your supports. Bob going to be contesting, however, as we go in with the Blizzard and having to force that Life Weaver tree. Not going to be enough with Rampage at the helm. Bob's still putting in the work, though. Okay, Bob.
Wow, yeah, being the sixth man there, if you will, holding the point and allowing it to not move forward. So in the previous engagement there, just the threat of the Widow created so much space. Like, the Ana did not want to peek, they did not want to do anything, and when Doom made a move, they pounced on him, they walled him off, they bio-grenaded him, they slap-darted him, they basically destroyed him, right? But then, as in the Dying Embers, as they were retreating, the Bob gets sent in to contest the point, and they were able to kind of re-engage with the Life Weaver tree. But as I was speaking there, Marquette is able to find their composure, push through again with that Junker Queen, and find the second point here. Nice.
I do want to say, Zippy on the Widow has been putting an amazing showing out for all of us. Getting a lot. If you look at the kill feed, and I'm sure you've been watching the whole time, there's a lot of picks that Zippy's just been getting off of pure headshots. And that is, one, you have better aim than I ever will, and two, you are doing your job phenomenally well. Unfortunately, because you're doing your job so well, you do get focused, and that is one down already. Two down, no support. Well, half a support, and you're about to lose your VAP as well. You have to force a reset here, and University of Hawaii is doing an amazing job at doing so.
Yeah, no, a great engage there. The Lucio speed boosting everybody in, and like we've been saying, Doomfist likes when people are clumped up together, and around that corner, everyone kind of groups up a little bit, and then in that moment, they found that perfect frame to pounce and take a few members down. And in Overwatch 2, if you lose a member, at least lose a member or two, you're gonna have to reset. So that's what they did there. Let's see how Marquette re-engages here now.
Alright, going over for Meteor Strike, double wall here. We got double May wall. What can we see? And we see the Meteor Strike going straight to Zippy. Poor Zippy. You're playing Widow. You're getting targeted once more. But at least a nice clean, quick cleanup from Matt Dealer. Coming out with the back window, however, not going to be able to use it whatsoever due to that May wall kind of blocking that sideline for a good moment there. And it's going to be reaching up an accent. Getting the nice good picks here as well. Forcing out the Blizzard already, and that should honestly be enough to maybe take care of that May for a second, or go for the Zippy. You are by yourself here.
No way he tries to take this. A 3v1? Okay, yeah, he's backing off here. But does just enough to stall out the cart to not make it go forward anymore. Once again, Zippy getting just headshotted, absolutely destroyed by the Sojourn here. So definitely a great switch off. Oh, we have a Genji now from Say, who's just slashing and dashing and slicing and dicing through everybody. A nano boost coming back onto the Junker Queen. Let's see if they try to engage with it. They do have the Rampage online now.
I didn't know you can even get on that door. Okay, Soldier. But Overclock is ready here. I can definitely see him popping it right here, right now, just to really enforce and make space in that hallway and just kind of just waste time. Waste Marquette's time and make them not able to do anything about it. Now Reckoning or Rampage is gonna be coming out here. That's gonna be freezing out University of Hawaii's tank. They're gone and dusted, but there's that Overclock I was talking about. Is this gonna make a difference? No! Oh! Zippy getting a double kill here.
Yeah, absolutely massive picks from them. So yeah, the Rampage comes through, creates some space, right? And then the Axan just lays in a little snow cone, right? Like just putting in the blizzard, is able to lock a couple members down, and Zippy just cleans them up from there. So a nice fight win, a lot of ults invested now. We're looking for Royal to get this the Kasune Rush online, as that might be the difference maker to get this point to the end here. A nice sleep and a nice wall off, but Akami is just absolutely destroying people on Sojourn, is able to kind of thwart this push once again. So I think everyone's gonna reset. Oh, a boop! What?
I thought they fell off. I didn't see Lucio boop, but if you say it's a boop, it's a boop, and
It's the boop.
that's where everyone always dies. That's the funny part. That space is specifically there just to mess people up. But again, you're forcing a reset. I love that recently, throughout all these matches, we've been consistently seeing a Genji swap. Even though we are playing against someone like Mei, who may be like your biggest enemy here on the other team, you're playing so well. And a good play here is that Dragon Strike right down the corridor. Not going to be able to get anyone though, but health is going really low. So low, in fact, that we get rid of both Macula and Sei on the Genji. We are able to push it even further. We are going to be sub a minute, however, which is not what you want to be going into with 2 minutes on the clock for University of Hawaii in a possible reset situation. Going over for the Coalescence and a really far Rampage. And a Blade to boot.
Just try to get back into the point. The members are falling left and right. Here's the Kasune Rush we were talking about. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, the Junker Queen like went in and got booped and actually fell off the edge there. So not able to get any effect. So there was a dying breath of Marquette trying to lay in every ultimate that they had in order to take this point. I don't think they're going to have enough time, Madi, to touch.
I don't know if they're gonna have enough time, and they have the overclock as well. Kami is on top of it. All they have to at their disposal is a Mei Blizzard, and she's not the fastest person in the book. Like, as you can see, she's literally frozen. So unfortunately, not even Mei with at least Blizzard was gonna make it. It was going to contest, was going to get a nice, 5-person freeze. No. It is going to the University of Hawaii once more. Beautiful defense. It was getting a little bit scary out there from point 1 to point 2, right? But at least here, this is one of the hardest choke points to get past, and they did a beautiful job of defending it and persevering.
So on that final battle there, Madi, River God had the Coalescence, was able to use the Fade, get into the back line, and then shoot through the back line of the enemy team to his team. So he's able to do the damage and the healing and not get hit by anybody because they were all facing the other direction, which that gave their team just a little bit more survivability. So that was a really clutch play by them. You've been singing their praises this entire match. So that was really well done from them. And so then that caused just press Q, panic Q as fast as you can on the side of Marquette to just layer down every ultimate that they had to try to salvage something from it. But because of that, they weren't coordinated enough. They didn't know how to utilize those ultimates to any effect to get that cart to the finish line. And therefore, they were able to have some good plays. The Junker Queen got booped out of her ultimate and sent off the edge. And so we are not going to be taking a break here, Madi. We are going to go right into our next map of Flashpoint on Servasa.
Yeah, and this is also a game point for University of Hawaii. They win this, they win 3-0 the series. We go home, we take a nap, right? But speaking of napping, we cannot nap on Cervasa. Like, this is such a fast. We were talking about earlier. It's a fast-paced map. It's a fast-paced game mode. The ticks on the timer go by that much faster than control point. So hence why we need a bunch of areas to go to, a bunch of little control points centered on the map. I believe there's 5 random ones, correct? So you need those fast-paced characters, and thankfully from what we've been seeing from the first 2 games, they are very comfortable playing a very fast-paced game. We've been seeing the Junker Queen, we've been seeing the Lucio, we've been seeing the Moira, like a lot of characters that actually can and will get from point A to point B relatively quickly.
For sure. Something I do want to point out about last map, Madi, is that you mentioned about sleeping on Cervasa, and I just want to bring to the attention the amount of sleep darts
Oh yes,
got connected on the side of Hawaii. So putting Bob to sleep, putting diving tanks to sleep, absolutely immaculate stuff coming out from, I think it was River God on the Ana, just putting everybody to bed. So that was just some really good mechanical skill coming out from them. So I'd like to hopefully see more of that. Obviously, no Ana on this map, as we have discussed previously in the cast. So the teams, they're posturing now. They're picking their formations, their teams, their characters, what they want to do. So I'm seeing a Torbjorn in the side of University of Hawaii. That I'm excited for.
yeah, and at least Torb has even Torb has movement. He has, you know, overload, and we run a little bit faster. So this also works. You know, everyone here, especially with Lucio's speed boost, is gonna be able to get to the first point and right in the middle, smack in the middle, very, very quickly at the very least. Now, we do have the Orisa versus Junker Queen tank battle. We do have a Lucio and Bap duo here, and honestly, with a comment on the Bastion, the way they were playing Sojourn earlier and also Bastion on control point on Ilios, this might be a really quick game. Oh, I want to mention, Stomps is back on the roster, and so is Mickey playing the Lucio.
Okay, yeah, nice to see them. Let's see what they bring to the table. They're on match point, like you said, University of Hawaii. So Marquette has to bring something. The cat has to be out of the bag now to bring this back and maybe do a reverse sweep. And so Cervasa is going to be a first place to start. Both teams now contesting for the point, trying to find some purchase. The Bastion using turret form. Marquette able to easily skirt it and not take too much damage from it. Orisa moving in with the shield spear, trying to find some space for their team. And Mickey on the other end, finding Say in the back line, which creates some space enough for Reach to snipe the Bastion, send it back to spawn. It looks like Marquette will be able to take this first point and accrue some percentage.
Yeah, they should be able to now to only Orisa on the point by themselves. Easy pick, get Matter out of there and take the point for yourself. Now, I do want to mention, however, University of Hawaii did cap point maybe like a couple of seconds before that second team fight was initiated. So they do have 60 seconds on the clock. And like I said, these go by super fast. So I didn't even notice that we were already more than halfway through. So we've got whole point for a couple more seconds, and we should be able to get it much even. Pulse Bomb, it does not have the range to catch the way that they're expecting to catch. Array utilizing Terror Surge in order to make some a lot of space here and gets me started, and they certainly do. Sucking everyone into the same spot allows Sei and Akami to kind of go crazy and do whatever they want. The team is gone.
Body, Terror Surge is OP, dude. It's like Graviton Surge on steroids, right? It brings everybody together, and then you can layer so much damage, right? And so Graviton Surge, you suck everybody in, it does a little bit of damage, but it's not that much, right? So Terror Surge is just a way better ultimate, which is why I could see Orisa being used. She just spear shields right in there, slams the Terror Surge down, and the team just falls thereafter. So well, here's Marquette now trying to recontest if he does get an opening pick, but Math Dealer does take down Mickey, and I think that'll spell the end of Marquette's push on this first flash point. Yeah,
Definitely will. Oh, nice landing on the spear on Sojourner Slide. That's a little bit difficult to do. Nice on you, but it's gonna be forcing a reset. And again, random points. It happens to be that University of Hawaii is closer to the point than the spawn of Marquette, so now they're already kind of start at a disadvantage, right? They're starting in the fact that the flashpoint opens in 7 seconds, and are they even going to get there in time to contest? Thankfully, they do.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not sure why Say didn't destroy his turret. He kind of just left it on the previous point and allowed Zippy to just, bring it down, which is now, another less tool that he has. But it doesn't seem to matter as Matt Taylor does get another opening pick on a Mickey. Mickey needs to stay alive. Maybe switch back to that Mercy as he was, fluttering around in the skies, not getting picked. But I think it might be a done deal. But as I say that, Zippy gets a double kill. One with the pulse bomb and then one with a zip punch. But Say says, nope, here's a headshot right to the face. We are capping this point. We're taking it back.
And you already see the Orisa is going right forward with Say, just making sure that space is cleared out, allowing Lucio on Banana Olympia on Lucio to just take the point away. And it was even, and now suddenly, very quickly, it's gonna not be even. They had to make a giant push here. Zomps is being forced to play the Orisa to do the Orisa Ditto, and then Zippy is gonna be also going over to the Soldier. With this tight space, that's a beautiful opportunity to utilize both Corp ult and Orisa ult. That's death for the entire team. 4 people gone and dusted. It's just back by his lonesome with his 3 health bars. What can he do?
Marty, that's so, oh my gosh, wow, I don't even think they needed to put down the Molten Core. I think the Terror Surge did enough damage for them to take it. So, definitely a clean fight win there, a little bit costly on their side, so they're gonna want to think about that again. But now Torbjorn has his turret up. That's gonna prevent Zippy from approaching. Oh my gosh, the window bomb! I thought they nerfed that into Oblivion. Apparently they did not. Another easy fight win just off of one ultimate there. On the side of University of Hawaii.
Yeah, University of Hawaii is playing so well. And like I mentioned, Akami is so proficient on the Bastion that Reach had to switch to Bastion just to contest the firepower of that hero. And of course, things like armor, you have the turret form, you have the recently buffed bomb, like a lot of things that Bastion has. You had to play Bastion to take him down a couple of notches. And hopefully be able to contest with that firepower. Now, they're already on point again, University of Hawaii, and Zippy's already gone and dusted. Immortality Field is gone. Lamp is dead. So is the turret. Macular is gone. They have no tank. They are tankless. What are they gonna do here?
Yeah, no, definitely. It looks like Marquette University will finally be able to find some purchase. Maybe finally cap this point. Hasn't gone either way just yet. They had a good engage. No, but okay, here Banana just puts down the sound barrier. He says, we can take this. It's winnable. We just have to clutch some plays. No, not enough. Mickey did switch to the Mercy like I suggested, and is able to find a res, which will allow, hopefully, Marquette to cap this point this time, as Zippy is trying to clean up a few final remaining members here.
The fact that this team fight has lasted this long and no one's capped point yet is a testament to how ferocious both teams are playing today. It's only Bash on the point still and Torb's turret, so that'll be a very nice, easy cleanup for Zippy and Royal Ranger to take care of, and finally get the first cap of the third point. Now, the University of Hawaii is going to be coming in on that right side you're seeing there, and all they really have to do, Mercy's back, got taxi really quickly, is going to be damage boosting that Soldier, and hopefully we'll be damage boosting that Bastion in turret form, because I promise you, as Mercy, that the ticks feel really good when he's taking his shots on damage boost, okay?
Madi, I want to see patience here from Marquette. Okay, they have all ultimates online. Here goes the Valkyrie from Mickey to start off. The Gravitic Flux layered on top of the attack visor to try to, shoot the people out of the sky, but to no avail. I don't think he was able to get any picks and actually gets killed for his troubles. University of Hawaii is turning this around.
I know you just said we want to see patience, and unfortunately, I didn't see that. I saw every single ultimate was used.
Yeah. Shoot. Well, they were able to cap the point. They were able to flip it, University of Hawaii. They were able to disengage effectively from those ultimates. I don't think anybody was caught in the Gravitic Flux, which is what made the attack visor really not come to fruition there. So there's still the artillery strike, which can get some value, but it's very difficult to do. Let's see how Marquette re-engages here.
Hopefully they do, but their Sigma is really low, forcing out Lamb to keep him alive a lot longer than usual, and thankfully no one breaks it in time, having to be interrupted by the ult right there from Bastion, but there's a reoccurring ult from Akami just to get them off point for a little bit longer. We have to force out the beat drop from Banana. This could be really good for University of Hawaii to stay alive a whole lot longer, and it is. It pays off in the end. Only one ultimate use at that point. It was only a beat drop. It was only the sound barrier. So all this is mercy. We had the hammer out. Okay, yeah. Aw. The hammer was
kill.
out. I respect it.
Yo, hammer kill was on my bingo card too, Madi. So I was looking for it. Doesn't look like Marquette was able to contest the point. GG's in chat. Hawaii with a very convincing 3-0 victory over Marquette University.
And I completely agree with the game here. Akami is kind of my go of the of today's play, only because of how well they're playing that Bastion and that Sojourn consistently. It wasn't just I'm playing Bastion because he puts out a lot of damage. No, they're playing Bastion smartly, using that bomb for, low enclosed spaces where they can get everyone at once. They were utilizing Sojourn that overclocked on King's Row. Oh my goodness. That was they are a very, very talented DPS player, and I hope they continue on in our season. I hope they don't just quit in the middle. No, I need to see you for the rest of the season and beyond.
Absolutely, it's a player that we are going to be watching. I think another hero that they were very proficient in is the Ashe. They played a lot of good Ashe. They sent in the Bobs at just the right time to contest the point, cause a lot of mayhem in the backline. So definitely a well-deserved play of the game on that map, and a play of the game overall in this matchup here. So we are not going to do an interview as it's very late for us on the East Coast. Madi and I, it's been a pleasure serving you. It's been a pleasure casting for you today, everyone. Just as a reminder, this is EGF Season 5, Overwatch 2. We'll be back next Thursday with a whole nother slew of matches. Everyone have a great evening. And from Madi and I and Blizzard, we are signing out, and have a great night.